this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.
Hey guys, good evening. I'm Truthman from OverClocking-TV, and tonight we are from the studio here in Taipei, Taiwan, and we do have two special guests. Julius from India.
Hello.
That guy. And Neil, Fatboy Not So Slim from Australia. Number one overclocker in Australia. Number one. And we do have Bill Zoid as well, that is remote in UK right now. Thanks Bill Zoid for joining as well. It's a little bit better for the time for you than it is for us, because it's quite in the evening for us already. Thanks for being here, Bill Zoid.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Perfect, awesome. So we are here in Taipei, Taiwan. That's the Computex, and what we want to do today is something special. This is actually the first time we do it with guests. Yesterday there was the Performance Matter event. So the Performance Matter was an extension of the World Tour, like an extension event of the World Tour, and that was to promote and accompany the launch of the new Intel platform. Now we can talk about it. It's the X299 platform with the Kaby Lake X and actually the Core X series, basically of what's going on Kaby Lake X and Skylake X. So we can now talk about all that, something that we were not allowed to do yesterday, which is the reason why the event was not broadcasted live. There was a lot of people that asked us, hey, where can I see the live? Why is there no live for that? It was like, well, it was all under NDA, so actually, even like you, Neil, you were not able to attend that event, right?
I wasn't invited.
Yeah, that's sad, huh? And you're the number one overclocker in Australia. Well, that's what you claim.
Neither was I.
Too bad. Anyway, guys, that's not a big deal because no one else. That was like very limited access for it. But for you guys, we managed to have all the recordings for all the cameras that was there. So we're gonna have the screens, we're gonna have the extra stuff that were happening there, and we will be here commenting on that. It's supposed to run for like 3 hours, but we can cut everything out in 2 hours, pretty much. So that should be quite okay for tonight. Before we jump in, Tullius, what are you doing here in Taiwan?
Well, I'm covering Computex. I've just started my own tech channel called Tullius Tech. So yeah, I'm just here, getting a lot of footage, covering everything there is to cover. There's a lot to do here. It's hectic, yeah. So today was a long day.
And that's the first day as well.
It's the first day, yeah.
You launched to new Tech as well. So.
Exactly. It's been 24 hours non-stop. I probably haven't slept more than an hour in the last 36 hours. It's crazy.
Okay, just don't sleep on for the next 2 hours.
Not a problem.
That should be fine for everyone. And Neil, what are you here for?
Just networking, going around, seeing the vendors, seeing the friends, the overclockers, and having a good time.
Well, that's cool. I mean, you've been here. You were in Japan last week, right?
I was in Japan last week.
Yeah, you did like vacation. And,
Yeah, I'm on holidays.
Yeah, not like everyone.
Yeah.
All right, and Build Zoid, well, what's going on? Do you have a live stream set up in the next few days?
I mean, tomorrow I'll hopefully be putting a GTX 1070 under LN2 for the ROG-OC Showdown. So, yeah, that's sort of planned. And actually, you can see bits of the GTX 1070 lying around behind me, depending on how much of the shot is visible. Yeah. So
that's gonna be quite interesting. What time that's gonna be working? Like that's gonna be on Saturday?
No, that's gonna be tomorrow. Because I don't have enough time. Like the OC Showdown is ending really, really soon. So I don't want to, if something goes wrong tomorrow, I'll have also Saturday to keep working on it. If I run into some like major issue, because Pascal so far overclocking it has been a nightmare. And I haven't even gotten to liquid nitrogen, so...
Yeah, good luck with that, and good luck for the stream. Anyway, guys, if you want to see BuildZoid stream, is actually on the live chat as well. It's twitch.tv/BuildZoid, so you can go give him a follow, or if you just come to see him, but well, thank you and welcome right here.
Cool.
All right, Tim, I think you can start running the few cameras. So that was the Performance Matters event. So that was called like the Helium Night Taipei. This event was organized by HWVots along with Intel.
Wow.
And there was partners from the industry such as Seasonic, and there was also the Asus ROG team and G-Skill that were part of this. But mainly the concept was the night before the official launch, actually the official lift of the NDA on the X299 platform. They wanted to do something very special for it.
Right.
And as we know, like as a overclocker, there's always these, like companies that try to break as many records as they can just before the launch.
Before launch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. They broke some in the night, but we'll be able to see them live. So a lot of people from the industry, a lot of high profile. There was quite some interesting people. There was Chris Silva from Intel, so it's like I think general manager of the consumer desktop group. So it's a very high profile guy at Intel. There was Peter, of course, director of at HWBot. Makes sense. I mean, he's the organizer and part of the event. There was Niels from Seasonic. There was Joe, the corporate VP at Asus Republic of Gamer as well.
Wow.
Very impressive. Very important to have this type of profile for this kind of event as well. That was very good, and that was very exciting for us because that was the first time officially we were able to see the platform performing on the liquid nitrogen. And actually that was the first time as well from a lot of people to see liquid helium as well.
Correct.
I mean, it's not that common. I mean, Neil, you use LN2 quite often.
Yep.
Did you ever play with liquid helium?
No, I'm not that rich. It's a very rich man's game.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, BuildZoid, you just started playing with LN2, so I guess that's not gonna be in your plan for the next few days or weeks.
What, liquid helium?
Yeah.
It's way too expensive. Like, and then there's not that much you can actually run on it with the cold bugs, and it's just like, no. So I think I'll just stick to liquid nitrogen. It's easier to get your hands on.
Yeah, it's cheaper as well. Huh?
Oh, hell of a lot cheaper. Hell of a lot cheaper.
Actually, is that?
Yeah.
Actually, like talking about the LN2 price, is that how does that cost you in India?
50 cents a liter.
Oh my God, that's cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. Helium, on the other hand, is
helium is like
expensive.
at least 25 times more than that.
Oh, it's more like $60 a liter.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's stupid
fair.
expensive. Yeah, it's stupid
Yeah,
expensive.
because helium's rare, and you also the tanks you have to use are different. You have to have like two tanks, one to push the other tank. So.
All right. Hey,
it's
guys, we're gonna go back to the LN2 right after. They were doing On the Intel Core i7-7740K. Oh my god, that's going to be difficult to say for me. On this new CPU from the Kaby Lake X series from Intel. This is a 4-core, 8-thread CPU, and they were doing 7.1 gigahertz with liquid nitrogen. So they could achieve that with liquid nitrogen, but they already put 1.9 volts
into it. Yep.
That's nothing. it's within spec.
Well, within your defined spec, right?
Yeah. What? Two volts or bust.
It's an engineering sample CPU. It doesn't matter.
Yes, that's gonna be fun to see what the people can. I don't know if they tried out to not reach, like to just use 1 core or 2 cores to reach the higher frequency.
Correct.
But I know that maybe for PyFast they use only 2 cores, from what I can remember. But we're gonna see that later on in the video anyway. So guys, welcome everyone that joined on the live chat. Let us know if you have any comments. We monitor the live chat. We monitor mainly the Twitch channel. But if you are actually on the other network, we can let us know, and Timothy at the production will shout out the questions from the guys if there is any. And he's making the face like if I manage to follow that as well. All right, and Shamino.
Mm-hmm.
That was Shami, long time guy in the industry.
Legend
For sure.
Complete legend.
Actually,
everybody
on that
here is a
shot,
legend.
yeah, on that-
Everyone here is a freaking legend.
On the far right side, Freddy Yamasan from Japan, like.
Yeah.
I think he owned us all. I mean,
He's been overclocking for what, 55, 60 years now? since the late 50s, I think it is.
yeah, it's like he's part of the Japanese generation that was like the very first one to start doing it with different kind of chips and so on.
And then he's a super pie master.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Psychic.
Then Shamino, then we have with the ROG hat, it's Dan Cup, currently #1 in the ranking. Then we have Raja, and on the other side we had Elmore and Der Bauer for it. So coming back to what happened during the night is they were, warming up, but actually cooling down with liquid nitrogen, and then they was planning to switch to liquid helium as well. I know some of them tried to do Unigen Heaven. I think there is a very good score, but I don't remember exactly the score. I think it's like second best or third best from what was done. Yesterday.
Okay.
Right, back at the CPU, we can see that actually that's funny. Lowering the BCIK frequency, increasing the core, and then they would just try to increase the base club frequency to reach higher. Yeah. Right. What do you guys think would be the most difficult part with this platform, because it's completely new as of 24 hours?
I'm gonna say BIOS. Considering how quickly X299 was rushed out into the public arena because of AMD, I'm gonna say that the biggest problem is going to be getting stability from the BIOS on the various motherboards.
Yeah. So you do think Fatboy Not So Slim that it's not going to be mature enough at launch?
Yeah.
So what do you recommend for the people that want to get their hands on this kind of platform?
Just go for it, and just expect it to get better over the next few months. That's one.
Go get one and do the BIOS update.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and just be very, very patient. I mean, if you got X99, then you should know exactly what is coming, because X99 memory for me, it never got better. Like, I went from I had a Rampage 5 Extreme. Even on the very last BIOS, the latest BIOS, I never had properly working memory support. So,
What the Rampage 5?
If you worked on X99 and you had some weird choice of RAM, you should know exactly how X299 will behave for sort of the beginning.
Of course,
but hopefully this time it'll get ironed out, because the memory controller will actually be a lot better.
And there's one good
to Haswell E, which was like DDR4 for the first time.
there's one good thing as well is that now it was not the case with the X99 platform, but now there's someone actually in front of them competing with them on the high core count, high performance segment as well.
Yeah.
So I guess that will push them hard to make sure the platform is stable enough and that
And also
they get the updates.
Yeah, the pricing is also pretty aggressive from Intel. I didn't see this one coming. I mean, the 8 cores down to almost $600, so that's pretty interesting. And you've got the 12 core at I think $1,200, and you've got the 16 core at something like $1,600 or $1,700, something like that. And then you've got the 18 core at $2,000. That's
Yeah,
apparently.
not gonna use this one.
Yeah, that one's out. But yeah, I mean, the 8 core at 600 is the 8 core at 600 and the 10 core at whatever 1,000. That's pretty interesting. But then again, I mean, I'd still wait for what SP3 is bringing. So yeah, hope that they've got 16 cores at like an affordable price, which then at least we've got our options open.
SP3.
Yeah. So they've got the X399 chipset.
Oh, we're talking AMD.
AMD, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Actually, that's gonna be a very big misunderstanding on the consumer side because
Yes.
X299,
the X299,
It's completely
X399,
intentional, though.
X370 is like, oh my god, and Z270, oh my god, that's just a complete mess up. And well, at least it's like,
AMD has X370 because Z270 is a thing, and now they have X399 because there's X299. So they have that one number higher to make it look like it's better all the time.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it's just...
Well, let's be realistic.
It's gonna, like,
not gonna be better.
if you're into computers, it shouldn't really give you an issue, but for new people, that's gonna be a mess.
True.
It's like,
Neil, you wanted to say something?
I'm fine.
You said that's not gonna be better.
I'm just saying, because it's one higher number doesn't mean it's going to be any better.
Yeah, true.
yeah, I know,
But
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue would be on the naming side for the consumer. But
Yeah, it's just going to
If
create
we look-
confusion.
yeah, but that's gonna be okay. I mean, people will get used to it and understand
True.
which is the platform that
True.
needs to go. If we if we remind a little bit about the different things, there's Skylake X and Kaby Lake X. Basically, Kaby Lake X is the one you see today, like the 7740K. That one basically have like the 16 PCI Express lane, can support DDR4 266600. Of course, you can overclock that one as well.
Yep.
It's on the new socket, the 2066 socket, but it's only like 4-core 8-thread. There's nothing like the
also it
high-core
only does
core
2
or-
memory channels.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also only does 2 memory channels, which is also going to confuse a lot of people because they're
Correct.
going to buy a 8 DIMM board, try to
Yep.
put 8 sticks of RAM in it, and
Yep.
half of them won't work.
And the two that do work are on like
The right-hand side.
the right-hand side.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah.
one on each side of the
No.
socket like in the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a huge issue with that on X99 because it was again on one side and it was just like tried to run 2 sticks and I couldn't get it to boot for a while.
Yeah, I think
And then I had to
everyone
check the
understands it
manual,
doesn't like
so-
the platform. Huh?
Yeah. I kind of get the feeling. But
he's,
I mean-
he's an AMD guy, so that's
Ah! But
I don't like X99.
yeah, I know what you mean, bro.
I
know
just straight
exactly
up
what
don't
you
like
mean.
it. I loved X79.
Yeah,
I had
it was-
X79. That was my
True,
favorite
true.
platform. Well, I liked it. And then X99 is just like everything was broken for so long for me, and it's
Yeah.
mostly because of my weird choice in RAM. But yeah,
You always have some weird choice in RAM anyway. That's
I have
kind of
weird
like
choices
your-
in everything.
All right, guys. Let's move on a little bit on the different SKU parts, so we can move on to see what's going on the screen after that. Skylake X, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 cores,
Yep.
ranging from $499 to $2,000
yeah,
US.
$2,000.
Yeah. Same socket, but 44 PCI Express lane,
Lanes.
which is. This actually makes the motherboard design a little bit more tricky because you
Correct.
need to have the support for in the same socket,
For X16, for 28 lanes, and for 44. Yeah.
and this is quite strange.
strange.
Yeah, quite
Yeah,
strange
yeah,
as a way. But actually, if you look at the die on the because we saw some of the deleted die
Yeah,
already, and it's huge.
Yeah, it is
It
huge.
is huge.
It is huge.
It is huge. So,
So I mean, that's probably helping with the heat dissipation. I mean, Cabby was just a pain to cool down because it was so small. I mean, just so much heat from something so small, just painful. Hopefully these are better.
yeah, and there's an i5 coming as well on the Kaby Lake X side.
Yeah,
It's the 7640X,
correct.
which gonna make it a little bit on this segment for it.
Yeah.
But I wonder how that's gonna happen because the CPU is supposed to be like $240,
Yeah,
but that's gonna be the price of most of the motherboard as well.
true.
I don't think we're gonna see any X299 motherboard below $150.
I don't think even below 200. That'll be. I don't even think they'll.
No, I think below 200 is doable because we've had previous high-end desktop platforms had below 200. I mean, those boards were like there's nothing on them.
On them, yeah.
You don't. It's like desperation zone.
True,
but
true.
They did exist.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, it's not something that you'd be very comfortable running or pushing hard because it's just.
Well, I mean, if you put the KBX CPU in it,
yeah, then it's fine. Yeah.
it's low power. It
True.
would be a problem if you tried to cram one of the 10 core or the
12
or the
core.
18 in that overclock it. That would not go well.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, and by the way, there is no graphic. Sorry, there's no graphic side in the Kaby Lake X.
True.
So they completely removed the GPU side.
Yeah.
So according to power users, that was not needed in that kind of platform, which I do actually totally agree with.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, honestly, Intel should just stop doing IGPs. Honestly, they just should.
It depends on the platform. It depends on the
Well-
on the way they want to do it as well. I mean, there's always like a business side of it. I mean, they
True.
need to do it for all the mobile things and all
Yeah,
the other one that they're super strong in that one. So there's nothing we can maybe do. But if that gets better chips for a little bit cheaper or same
True.
price but a little bit better, sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Yeah, that's welcome.
All right, let's have a look at what is happening on the screen. We had the 4 overclockers that were actually like preparing the setup, so they have to cool down with liquid nitrogen before using liquid helium. There's a lot of reason for that, but yeah, that's gonna be fun to comment on. CPU cache ratio at 66. This is already quite improved from the I think it's 50 at the beginning or something. I think it's 50. Can't remember exactly. Anyway. That was the first time actually they were like, you may run the benchmark now. I think they used a lot of the LOD is way
LOD
too,
hacks.
it's like too much light. This is so beautiful. This is so Actually, I do like Aquamark because it's supposed to go faster and faster and faster the faster you go.
Yeah.
Because all the other benchmarks like 3D Mark and Unigine Heaven and all that, it's like it will render more frames, but
Yes.
it will be the same benchmark. It will be as long as the other one.
Correct.
Like Cinebench, XTU, like pretty much all the 2D benchmark. If you are faster, you calculate faster, so it goes faster. As well. Which is it's fun to do. Actually, talking about scores, because by the time we finish Unigine, if it does finish, talking about scores, all the scores were published today by the end of the NDA, and there is one big major world record that got completely smashed. Is W Prime 32M, and W Prime 32M. It's been since December 2010. It was untouched by Vince, by Kingpin.
That got taken. Sorry, it got beaten today.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So Elmore did 1.527 seconds.
Wow.
When Vince was at 1.7 something just before. So that means that for the past 7 years, no one was able to touch that one specifically.
Yep.
Was crazy. And Elmore said the only reason that it could happen, and it does make sense, because Vince was on the SR2 from VGA with 2 high-clocked Xeon CPUs. And at the time, it's like, because W Prime it needs a lot of core, and it needs to be a lot of fast cores as well. And they was explaining that, well, if you can span this, because the Xeon is like 2 CPUs, 4 core each with hyper-threading. So you make it 4 cores, and 8 thread, but on 2 different sockets.
Right.
While on the on the Kaby X, you can just use 4 and 8 directly and just smash it. I
Yeah,
think
that's a lot of power for the
actually,
CPU,
I do
actually.
expect Skylake X to actually break that one as well.
That'd be pretty interesting.
I mean, there's
actually.
more
Yeah.
core.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
on the same package.
Correct.
If you can clock, but no, close to maybe like 6.5.
Yeah.
There you go. But I don't know
I
if
don't know if
Skylake
Skylake X
yeah.
is gonna push that.
I don't know.
that
I don't know
high.
if they're gonna have call bugs. If it's the same as Skylake and Kaby Lake in the difference.
Yeah, I honestly hope they can get past 5.5, 5.6 because Broadwell was just that 5.3, 5.2, and that was it with the 10 core. You know, you really couldn't go past that much. Maybe if you're lucky and you had a great CPU, 5.4, but that's about it. I'm hoping that their 10 cores now at least can clock a lot higher. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay, guys, if you have any question on the live chat, let us know. There's people talking about the frame rate of the gaming monitor. I know that sometimes it can influence on some of the benchmark score if you do some.
Oh yeah, it definitely
3D ones.
does affect Uni Evan.
Yeah, Unigine.
Yeah.
If you
144 hertz. Yeah. Yeah.
or 240.
Or 240.
Yeah, that's the thing that this is kind of tweak.
Yeah.
Per se. It's a kind of tweak, but not really a tweak per se. It's more like choosing the right hardware you want.
So, with Unigine and the high refresh rate monitors, what if you don't have a high refresh rate monitor and you just force the GPU into a higher refresh rate? The monitor gives you the input not detected. Could you still run Heaven on that?
I haven't tried.
That's pretty interesting.
You should try next time you do the live. Actually, you know what? You should try to see if the capture card can still get it.
It won't capture. I know it won't capture because I tried to go above. I think I tried to go above 60 hertz 1080p and it failed. So,
No.
Well,
something like that.
gonna have to bench with the black screen again, huh?
I mean, that's what I'll be seeing. We're just like hoping that it's actually running.
It's funny, like they are in the BIOS and they said auto. I guess the platform is so new. It's like, okay, I don't want to touch this one.
Yeah. Well, but then again, even last year when we took part, me and when we were at the HWBot World Championship last year, that you guys did, all the 4 days. I mean, the only board that was actually working as specified was the Edition 10. Yeah, and the BIOS was strong. Like the launch BIOS was pretty strong. It did pretty much everything that we asked of it. So, and it didn't put a foot wrong for 4 days.
And
So if that's the case with this,
I
then
mean, if you know the team that is behind it.
yeah,
right?
exactly, exactly.
It's like the legends.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, like between Shamino, Elmore, TL,
True.
like all the guys. There's like,
I mean, who won all 4 days? It was only Asus.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just the guys with the Edition 10. So that tells you pretty much what you need to know.
It's actually fun to look at the ranking because you know the CPU just launched, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure you can really find it in the shop. Actually, let me check. And so at the top of the ranking, you already have some of these scores that smashed the previous generation, where people were binning so hard.
Yeah.
And actually, that's something. Not sure if the binning would be something that will come back with the Kaby Lake X as well.
I would think it will. I mean, binning is not going anywhere, but I don't think it is because there's just so much variation in CPUs today, like in terms of quality. I don't think it's going anywhere. And I mean, even the same thing happened with the 7700. There were a few batches that were really, really, really good. So yeah,
Neil,
It's always been the case, though.
yeah.
Just some silicon always overclocks better than other
Yep.
silicon.
yeah, don't all the CPUs are not born equal.
Nah.
All right, I think that the guys are preparing to go into the liquid helium. Not sure if that's gonna be in the next few minutes or so. But Unigine, how do you guys say it? Unigine. Okay,
Yeah,
Unigine Heaven. Unigine Heaven.
Heaven.
Unigine Heaven. Yeah, okay, that's the French accent for that. A lot of some artifact as well. You can see some stuff on the screens.
Yep.
Right. So with the liquid helium, they have to cool down as much as they can with the liquid nitrogen up front.
Yes. Thermal shock.
That and actually the
Be a lot
liquid
cheaper.
Yeah, it's way cheaper and way more efficient as well.
Yes.
I mean, if I'm right, the liquid helium is 3 times less efficient at removing the same
Heat.
than liquid nitrogen. So for everything you do, you need 3 times more. So if you have like a 400 watt CPU, you're gonna need 3 times more liquid helium to cool down at the same temperature that you will do with liquid nitrogen. And actually, it costs like 25 to 60% more.
Yeah. It's not cheap. It's not cheap.
TL in the background. We have Shamino right behind the smoke and Raja on the left side. Dankop and Fadi Yamasan. That was Dankop that was benching Eugene.
Ah.
Looks like a big turnout last night. Big turnout?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't look that many people though.
There was a lot of people, but actually like this. Okay, this was outside. Actually, there was a bar,
Yeah.
and this was outside in like in the tent thing. So this is like completely actually because of the smoke. Because liquid helium, you cannot really do that inside.
Yeah.
So that was like completely outside, and it was like the wind and so on, and that was limited attendees as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that was full house. That was good. That was good. So there's a lot of I think like you can see Elmore on the left side is waiting with the helium,
Yes.
the helium tube. So they need to have this special tube as well. It's like if they want to use liquid helium, they need to have the tubing. They need to have like a spare, like we can see like the spare big.
Yeah, it's either a
I don't know the name in English for that. Like
carbon
the
dioxide
gray
tank.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that pressurizes the liquid helium tank, and then you get your helium out of there.
And I think you need that because liquid helium is like a super fluid within the tank.
Yeah.
So
You've got to push it out
yeah.
forcefully.
Yeah, that's what usually you say to. Yeah, I won't say it. I won't say it. All right. I think they will almost be ready to go very soon. That should be okay to watch. Hey, Bitzoid.
Yep.
You still here? Yeah, you still here. All right.
I'm still here.
Perfect. Perfect. What do you expect from the guys to do on the with liquid helium?
I have no idea. I've only seen like very short. There was a video by Asus on their YouTube channel which showcased some of the liquid helium overclocking they did on Kaby Lake, the regular Kaby Lake.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I've ever seen of liquid helium in action. So, no idea.
So we'll see. And we have Dankop benching again on Unigine Heaven. 326 FPS. Not bad. Decent score, I would say. Hey, Neil, this is much faster than you ever saw it running, right?
What, Heaven?
Yeah.
I never knew Heaven was CPU bound.
What? It's CPU bound from like... Basically, once you start going over 300 FPS, you need to start pushing the CPU because it's like your max FPS gets locked first, and then, but once you like basically from 2 high-end cards up, completely CPU bottlenecked, a single 1080 Ti maxes it out as well. So, yeah,
Yeah,
actually, a 1080 does.
Yeah.
I don't do the NVIDIA cards. I don't know. I know a Fury X doesn't, and AMD hasn't put out anything faster yet. 2 Fury X's are a massive CPU bottleneck, though. So, yeah.
So you learned something tonight.
Oh, it's more so just I never really cared for Heaven. That's all.
I don't care.
Well, not for Heaven. It's just not my preferred benchmark.
Which is?
Oh, XTU.
For real?
Yeah, man. I've developed scripts to automate that shit.
Tell us more about it.
I can't, man. It's under NDA.
The guys hook up the you did an auto benching thing for XTU then?
Something like that, yeah.
Like automatic overclocking?
Oh, it's with XTU on a locked CPU, like the low-end i3s and i5s and laptop CPUs, that you can't overclock them. So you can only do so much of them, specifically like around the RAM or maybe some of the timings or a bit of base clock, that it was just become a rerun game.
Yeah.
So you run it again, run it again, run it again.
742. People sat there for
Exactly.
days running.
Exactly right. The 6320 and the 742 score.
Yeah.
And because it's so repetitive, I just
Yeah, it gets seriously tiring.
I
mean,
looked at it. I'm like, let's just automate this.
True. I totally agree. I mean, 16, 18 hours of just rerun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's always like this kind of like small things you need to know, and
Yeah.
like 3 Mark 01 was like this as well. Like you have like
Yeah, you had to get the
the
order
good
right.
run.
Yeah.
You have the order,
Yeah.
and then you have like you try the GT special one. You try again and again and again. At some point, it's like, oh yeah, it's good, and then you have it, which makes it a little bit like confusing for people that just get in. It's like, oh, I don't know how I can get that. It's like, yeah, you need to run it like 4, 5, maybe 25 times in a row to get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's.
I don't have the patience for that. My systems can't run that long.
You don't even have the patience to wait the solder paste to be completely fine and test the card completely before plugging it in anyway, so... You do the modification, it's like, oh yeah, I want to test right away. It's like, yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like stuff works most of the time for me.
It just happened that works. Alright.
Yeah, I think almost. Yeah, they're ready.
Yeah.
He's got the thing.
Because they are... And passing in the... Oh my god. And opening the door and taking the stairs all the way up and continuing flying. No.
Wow.
We need to have...
The
things
LOD
not
is
enough-
seriously high on this. Like
the LOD is way too high.
Yeah.
It's like, it's even worse than Minecraft. And I thought that was not even possible.
Minecraft actually has textures with a resolution. This is literally just a block.
yeah.
It's a color.
Oh.
Every texture is just a color, nothing else.
Here they go with the liquid helium. So they had the 7740K CPU on the X299 platform, and they will be pushing all this the liquid helium down to the CPU pod. So they already cooled down everything with liquid nitrogen.
Yes.
I think they're like almost full pot. Basically, like they cannot go lower than that. So there you can see Elmore is actually turning in the knobs, and you can see the smoke starting to come out. So as we say, it's 3 times less efficient. So you need 3 times more, actually more liquid to produce this to remove the same amount of heat that is there. Let's see if that's going. That's not very easy to use, I guess.
That doesn't look very comfortable.
Well, for the price of the liquid helium, you don't want to bench 24 hours like that.
yeah,
anyways.
yeah, no.
Look at this.
Unless you're like a billionaire or a millionaire,
Yeah.
then you
Look at
can.
the smoke. That's so thick.
It is. And I mean, this is out in the open, right? So I mean, with the humidity we have here in Taipei, anyways.
Hey, it would be fun to have the temperature one day to have like to exactly know which temperature they are, because from what I remember yesterday they were like negative 190 and they wanted to go down than that, and they were waiting to be, I think, like negative 220 or something before starting to rise again.
Ah, okay.
That's insane. Did you saw the smoke like this before?
It's pretty crazy.
7.248, 7.25. So I guess that's just like one step closer, and they will try to get down in temperature as well.
Gently.
Go get it! Go get it! Yeah, the validation is okay. Oh, 7.3. So that's why you have actually the folder on the side, right?
That's one way to do it, yeah. Make sure that they're
735.
saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not saved, right? So far, they didn't save that validation like the 736, 743, 745, 748. Shit. Oops, I say the S word. 7575. Yeah, 752. Do you think you can get higher? 754, 755. So this is actually one of the highest clock Core i7,
Seven.
if I'm right.
Yeah.
Actually, let me check. I should actually go check on the...
7573, I thought I saw.
I think
7544.
it's probably the highest i7 ever.
CPU frequency.
Oh, save it, validate it.
No.
Blue screen!
Sad Dalmore.
Sad anymore, yeah. Poor him. But actually, I wonder if that is a trick they did with like the extra tubing on it, if it's something that is sold like this for the liquid helium.
Yeah, I mean, so I actually inquired, and then I then I gave up.
So you look to get liquid helium?
I
Actually.
did. I mean, I didn't know how expensive it was, so I called my supplier. The guy gives me liquid nitrogen, and I asked him, hey, can you hook up some liquid helium? He said, sure, but if you've got $1,500 for like 50 liters, give me a call. So I was like, okay, I see where that's going.
That's a good deal. That's cheap.
Well, yeah, I mean that's actually just for the liquid helium.
Oh.
And then he's like to like get the apparatus and stuff. That's like another $800,000 at least for like renting the damn thing.
Jeez.
So it's just this thing's unaffordable. 50 liters for like $2,000 plus. That's just
And that's not gonna last long either.
no. It'll be gone in like no time.
I think the like the rate they burn the liquid helium is, I think it's like
Yeah, I mean if you need
100 liter by like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But I think there's a lot of things that can still be improved, because the issue is liquid helium.
Yes.
That's not as easy as produced than liquid nitrogen.
No, liquid helium is actually very rare. I mean, helium itself is an extremely rare element, so it's extremely expensive to produce anyways, and we're running out.
Yeah, there's a limited quantity that can be used.
Yeah, exactly. So planet Earth is actually running out of liquid helium.
Yeah, maybe that's not the best use time for what we do. Because it's used.
I heard that somebody once built a like low pressure LN2 evaporator.
Uh-huh.
So since you had the pressure lower than atmospheric, the
Yeah.
boiling point went down, and they were boiling it at like minus 250 instead of the usual
250,
minus
that's not
200,
possible. You
minus
can go to-
196.
If you reduce
So
the pressure, you drop the
that
oil.
might be an alternative, but
There was an experiment that was like 8 or 9 years ago. There was a French tech site that was called Cooling Master, and they did this experiment. So they were like having a case that is completely sealed.
Uh-huh.
They vacuumed the case as much as they can, and they had the LN2 coming in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yes, you can reduce the temperature of the LN2, but you cannot go to like negative 250. I think the maximum they could get was negative 210 or 29. But then we need to look at the like the special 3 states of the LN2
yeah.
of the nitrogen to find out how it's supposed to work. And you have to take in account the expansion ratio as well. I mean, if you use 1
yeah.
liter of liquid
700
nitrogen,
liters.
that's going to be almost 700 liters of gas.
Gas.
So you need to have a huge pump for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can always go into space.
Overclocking on the... Nah, you can't even overclock on the ISS. You'd have to be outside.
Yeah, because inside that's not going to change anything. Well, actually, this is one of the issue, because there's no air in space.
Yeah.
So if you want to cool down something, you cannot just wait it just cool down.
True.
Which
And
is extremely weird, because
weird,
it's
yeah,
extremely
it
cold
is.
otherwise.
Exactly.
It's like everything is cold, but there is no way to remove the heat produced from where you are.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder how
There's
they
no
do.
convection, so I mean, you just can't move the heat.
I wonder how they do that. Actually, could be interesting
Well,
to find out.
the International Space Station has like massive radiator arrays
Yeah.
for infrared.
Or maybe
They dump it as infrared instead of trying to do it by convection or any other cooling method.
Ah.
which, like, the infrared radiation works great at high temperature. Like, radiating heat is really good at like high temperatures. So at low temperatures, it actually it doesn't work really that well, which is why the International Space Station has like, in pictures you can see that there's just like massive radiator arrays on it. I'll try find you. No, actually, you should find a picture because I can't show it anyway. So.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. Like everyone is showing their board, like for the X299. So Asus showed the deluxe, the deluxe version, huge, like heat thing, I would say. Yeah, huge heat thing, and it's like the socket is so huge.
Yeah.
It takes like half of just the socket area. Like you have enough space for all the RAMs and the socket itself.
What?
So it's
X399 is even bigger. AMD
yeah,
thing is
I saw
massive.
that's
just stupid big. I mean, it's a credit card. It's literally like an SSD or a credit card. I mean, that CPU is big.
Yeah.
Well, isn't the socket like 4,000 pins?
Yeah, 4,094 pins.
It's like literally twice as many pins as X299.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite intense. Hey guys, actually, as the guys are still cooling down again with the liquid nitrogen, I want to see some benchmarks. Actually, I want to see like PiFast or SuperPi. I guess they will be doing it. Hey, 3D Yama is actually 3D Yama is actually setting up the system maybe for PiFast.
PiFast, yeah.
Actually, what do you guys want to see during the Computex during the show?
Well, definitely, I'm actually dying to hear news on Vega. You know, what's coming. Also.
Okay, wait. We have a PiFast running now. That's supposed to be like less than 10 seconds anyway. Oh no, 11.53. I don't know which frequency they are. Maybe that was like just the default run before going for more. Actually, Bilzoe, did you try PiFast before?
I bench like 5 benchmarks: Heaven, 3D Mark, and Cinebench. Oh wait, that's 3. There are varieties of 3D Mark and Cinebench and Heaven, and that's it. So no. I also sometimes try SuperPi 1 million because it's not that long to run and.
Yeah, it's quick.
It's quick enough. Oh yeah, okay. The score they were at 515, so it's not. It makes sense that it's not as fast as we could expect. But it's only 1.6 volts. Well, it was only 1.6. Go push it. Keep
2
pushing
volts on
it.
the memory.
Yeah.
Aye.
It didn't apply for it yet. There's a lot of voltages, like small voltages you have to tweak and go on inside. It's actually that's one of the reasons why I don't overclock anymore, because I can't remember the settings. Which is a little bit of an issue when you do that.
True, very true. So much going on. Like, what does that one do?
Which one?
I don't know. All of them.
Well, PL automation, I guess that's just like cabby. I mean,
Yeah, there's supposed to be an extra PLL as well, a new PLL voltage in the new platform. Only on X299 though, and I think it's only on X299 and maybe only for Skylake X.
possible.
That would make sense.
That would make sense, yeah.
Wait, is KBX the same die as KB, or is it like a new die? Because, like, spec-wise, it's really similar to regular old KB, like, but it evidently clocks way better.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
not way.
the CPU is
It
bigger.
clocks better.
The die is bigger, so I'm not sure it's the same die. Let
It's
me
still
Google that.
odd.
I mean, it's definitely bigger, so it's got more surface area. That could explain the slightly better clocks. I mean, it's just getting the heat out better.
Yeah, but you cannot just do it for fun, because if you have bigger die, it costs way more in
money.
wafers.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
costs way more to produce.
Maybe it's because people yelled about cabbie overheating when overclocking.
But the other thing is,
Didn't Intel say don't overclock? Like recently?
Yeah, they literally said
No, guys,
to the whole
they didn't say
temperature
that.
spiking up, and Intel's like, oh, don't overclock.
Yeah.
No, actually, that was not Intel. That was one guy from the support in the forum that said that. There was no official statement for it, which is what I was actually a bit worried about the press itself, because yes, okay, that's something drama. Like you can get a lot of drama just for that.
Yeah.
And actually, I was a bit pissed because for the past almost 7 years, the CPU auto overclock themselves basically, like with the turbo thing.
Yeah.
So okay, it's guaranteed and all, but still, it's like they and you cannot expect people to have CPU under load in air cooling to be like below 45C all the time. That's just technically, physically not possible.
No.
The problem was that you would have a CPU sitting at idle, right, doing absolutely nothing,
And be in the 50s
and then the temperature
60s.
shoots into like 80 degrees
that's
for
that's
like
true.
a millisecond, and
So
then drops back down.
even
And
at-
it's like,
even at
what
stock.
the hell is that?
So even at stock with the 7700K, at stock, with a 240mm AIO, you have temperatures in the 80s, which is just downright dumb. I
No.
mean, if this is
That's actually depending
engineered-
on which motherboard
this is
vendor you're
engineering
using.
obsolescence.
Gigabyte, for example, defaults Kaby Lake to like 1.35 volts.
Yeah, I mean,
Stop.
the temps literally go through the roof. It's
Yeah, I know.
It's
Because
crazy.
1.35
Actually,
volts is like
That's
you
that's
can do 5
something as
gigahertz
well.
on that.
I mean, if
You can do 5 gigahertz on that
if
voltage,
that's the
and they
prob-
set it as
if that's
default.
the probe from within the CPU, it will always get hotter than anything you can get from the motherboard, right?
Yeah.
Or you can put on any coolers
no,
as
but
well.
the same thing happens on Asus as well. I mean, on all the 7700Ks I've seen, it's just even at stock for these workstations that I built. I hate seeing temperatures in the 80s and 85s and 86s when I'm running IBT. It's just wrong. I mean, there is going to be degradation. I'm just not happy with the way the way these guys are doing things. Because I mean, look, if I mean you're already so close to your TJ Max, there is no more headroom left to overclock. I mean, then what's the point of selling unlocked CPUs?
Well, so you can delete them.
And lose your warranty and never
which
give them
is-
back to Intel, and Intel makes more money.
Which is, I'm pretty sure, a very good business for them.
Exactly.
I actually ran my 7700K undelidded for a while, and 5 gigahertz was easy enough on that. Like I could run 5 gigahertz on it with. Well, I never ran IBT because I knew that was coming. But I could bench.
Yeah, you can bench.
some
You can bench them.
things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't run it like daily like that because it was 1.35 volts and 5 gigahertz, and it was just not coolable.
Yeah.
So.
They just tried to do 7.1 on the second system, the one Freddy Hama is on, but it did not work out. So I guess they were trying to do like 7.1 with liquid nitrogen, and when they are this one, they want to try to go a little bit higher for it. Because I guess like all those CPUs, they did test them actually, they did prepare for that. You cannot just do liquid nitrogen just. I got liquid helium, and that's just like.
I'm sure these are some really, really, really nice CPUs. I mean, from the amount of CPUs that Asus and all these motherboard companies get for development processes, they can pick and choose the best out of hundreds.
Well,
So-
even though I'm not sure how that works because the platform has been like fast
forwarded.
brought to the market. So I don't know how the resources from this company can be. That is actually a very tricky question because
True. But
no
then,
one
I
will
mean-
ever tell you. I mean, Intel
Yeah.
will never tell you how many chips they give to companies,
Well,
and the companies will never tell you how much chips they get.
chips they get. But then, I mean, the rumor mill is, you hear things, and it kind of does add up. But it does make sense that Intel would send all of these motherboard manufacturers at least a few hundred CPUs, if not more. I mean, you can't be expecting Gigabyte or Asus to develop a motherboard with like 40 or 50 CPUs. It's not going to happen. You have to give them a lot more. So, yeah. There's always a chance that, through the development process, testing, trying, you could kill a few, you could, damage a few, all of that stuff. So,
That would be interesting to to see how that turns out. But I'm pretty sure, like, once that's gonna be on the market, and as we say in the beginning of this discussion, the material, the platform will just it can only improve. It
Yes.
will always get
Yes.
better anyway. So that's that could be fun and good to see and
True.
It seems that the die is actually the same die.
Okay.
It does
Interesting.
look like it is the same die.
Interesting.
That's the Skylake X. That is a huge die, but that makes sense. I mean, if you go from 8 cores
So
to
18 cores.
18 cores, like-
yeah.
makes sense to be this big. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a little bit confusing, but yeah, that's gonna be fun. You can see Danka with like the double torch. Neil, would you love to try liquid helium one day?
No, I'd waste it. I would definitely waste it. Don't let me near that stuff.
You already wasted the LN2, so
Pretty much, yeah.
you were at the World Tour this week, and how was it?
It's alright.
You were you were having fun with your friends.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's the whole point, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't as good as last year. Last year was a very, very fun event with Broadwell E launching on day one. So this year it's all about the professionals, all the number ones in the other countries, the countries that matter.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Australia?
No, not Australia.
Let's just say Europe.
Yeah.
And Japan. But that's pretty much it.
Well,
That-
actually, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I didn't thought about that, but yeah. Well, I mean, Europe. Helmore lives here in Taiwan, so it doesn't apply, right?
Yeah, but he's European. So is Danko. Frediyama's Japanese.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it. And Roman is German, so
Yeah.
Hey, Mick Oliveira 5417. You're not that late, actually. They did 7.5 gigahertz with the Core i7 7740K, which is the Kaby Lake X version on the X299 platform. But yeah, they still have to bench some of the benchmark. I guess that's gonna take like a little bit more than 1 hour extra. I hope that's gonna be easy, because you can see that there are all drying stuff right now,
yeah.
which is like one of the big issue as well, especially because that
Humidity.
that was outside.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That
out in
was
the open.
outside. It was like about like 27 to 28 C outside. It was super humid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you use something like negative 200, negative 250, negative
I mean,
269 for liquid helium.
They'd have water and condensation in a matter of minutes. I mean, 15, 20 minutes and you'd have water. For sure. Especially at minus 250 or whatever they're at with liquid helium.
Yeah, so at the event there was Raja, we can see Adeline, Raja, Elmore, De Bauer, Dankop, Frediyama, TL, and Shamino. That was the team that was brought to that was there at the event to do the liquid helium demonstration per se. Hey, fellow killer GR. Actually, are you still in like, I think it's like, I can't remember the country you're in Europe. It's like Romania or something. He used to be from Greece, but he moved to different countries for work. Nice guy, nice. It doesn't do it with a good team, so it doesn't seem like a temp sensor bug. Oh yeah. But if that's the temperature thing we were talking just before. Alright guys, hey, on the live chat, if you have anything you want to talk or hear or see from the show this week, let us know. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a lot of the X299 bar.
Yeah.
And I guess we will see a lot of good scores this week.
I think every manufacturer is going to be
Pushing. Yeah.
their scores out like crazy for the PR.
True.
Mm.
But do you think they all wait like the end of the week to push the
No,
PR
no.
out, or they will just do it like
No,
one after the other?
Yeah.
I actually believe it's more of like a gentleman's agreement that each day somebody else will set their scores out, and you give them a couple of hours kind of thing to get their front page, to get their screenshots, to get their world records before another manufacturer comes along and
Here we
pushes
go.
out their scores as well. It's all PR, it's all press. Got to make everyone happy. So there's no point bickering and trying to overlap each other and take down each other's scores straight away when you can all shed the limelight and the spotlight.
True.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about who has the world records when the boards come out. It's how many were set at one point in time. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Actually, Intel did notice the number of world record and global top score they did set on the first day of launch. So I watched the keynote earlier today, and they say, I think there was like, I can't remember, 17 or 18, I need to find the right email, which is quite impressive to have like official keynote saying like, yeah, we are at launch and we have like that many scores that can go out on the things. I can't wait to see Cinebench scores though.
Yeah, Cinebench, especially from Kaby Lake, has kind of been the go-to benchmark for a lot of people and a lot of scores. So definitely want to keep an eye on that to see how that's scaling up.
There's some people that benched stuff on the trade show and they say, actually, Lucky Noob just like 30 minutes ago was saying like, it seems that 4K
XTU is going to be the
4K
norm.
XTU is just the norm now.
Yeah. He broke I think he broke the world record at the G School booth today.
With the MSI board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's listed on the HW site. He took GPU Pi for CPU 1 billion on the X Power Gaming TE.
Uh-huh.
X Power Gaming Titanium Edition.
I thought you said 4K XTU.
What is it?
Yeah, he has on his Facebook. There's a post about 4K XTU,
yeah.
with 10 core, I think.
Yeah.
Ah, 10 core.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. That's not going to be with Kaby Lake X. That would have been impressive.
That would have been impressive. Suddenly we've doubled our XTU performance for the same core count. We've gone from 2200 to 4 grand.
Well, I mean, it's an Intel benchmark.
Yeah,
it's an Intel CPU, so
yeah. Anything's possible.
maybe a little bit of dodginess going on there. Speaking of Lucky Noob, someone front and center.
There he is.
That guy is always. Every time you saw him, he's always smiling and always happy and always excited about what's going on. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same as you, Tullius. Always smiling.
I guess even he's just happy to be here, and so am I. So.
Yeah, there's gonna be so many news today. That's just.
Yeah, too much going on. Far too much going on.
This week will
be hectic. I mean, you can't possibly cover everything. There's just too much going on.
Yeah, there's something as well that during the keynote there was like Intel spoke about the i9, so their special i9 CPU.
CPUs.
So it's supposed to be 18 cores, 36 thread, which is like double as usual.
Yeah.
And it's like but I don't know how they just gonna make like i3, i5, i7 was okay. Like people get used to it and
True.
some road. It's like i9 is like okay. You cannot call that an i7 for a few reasons. You cannot have like the i7 that's just like 4 core, 4 thread, and maximum maybe 8. You want to have something like this, like 18. Okay, you want to have something else.
Something else.
So I need to find out. I haven't checked yet, but that means the Skylake X 18 cores.
Yeah.
It's gonna call i9.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be on the same platform as the Kaby Lake X, which is not the same platform as Kaby Lake.
Yes.
But that's the same platform as Skylake X,
Correct.
which is not the same platform as Skylake.
True.
And it all depends on the number of RAM and PCI Express that you want.
Yeah, exactly. So Kaby Lake X will only give you 2 memory slots, even if you've got 8 on your board, and only 16 lanes of PCIe, and that's about it.
You'll get 4 memory slots on an 8 DIMM board, but they'll all be on one side of the CPU.
Yeah. And today I was seeing the G Skill booth where they had like the Rampage 6 Apex and Astrock OC Formula, the
Yeah.
X299,
Yeah,
and that was
and-
running 4800 dual channel DDR4 at CL19 or something, and at like a stupid 1.45 volts or something like that, like really really low. That was pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive actually.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain someone was asking about it earlier in the chat about the IMCs, and considering what we saw today,
Yeah.
I'd definitely say the IMCs
MCs are a lot better, a lot better.
I heard.
I in
people-
fact
Yeah, I
said the
mean,
same
we're
thing in
seeing
my
like
live video as well.
3800 quad channel, 3800 and CL12 quad channel,
Yeah,
easy
and-
on most of the scores posted already.
True.
And this platform is like as
Brand
new as
new.
it gets right now.
Yeah.
So
And in fact, they also I also saw 64 GB running 4133 on the Rampant 6 Apex. So that was obviously with Skylake and not with Kaby Lake X, but 64 GB 4133. Yeah, your IMCs are a hell of a lot better. I mean,
what
you could,
timings though?
CL19, but it was XMP, so they were running only 1.35 volts, which is brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, that's nice.
That's gonna be crazy for the
For the workstation,
yeah,
guys.
for
I
the
mean,
workstations.
I'm actually having.
Yeah, you're building that for
Yeah, for work.
work,
So yeah, this is it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Hey, Flanker CZ, you say, can you imagine at 18 cores, 36 thread in Cinebench?
It would finish in a flash.
You're going to go
Yeah.
through Thermal Grizzly like no
Literally.
one's business. This is the whole IHS is covered in thermal paste.
Can you share a little bit with everyone to
The
just what
whole,
you're seeing?
the whole IHS is covered in thermal paste. I can't even. I mean, okay, thermal grizzly is expensive. Yes, everybody agrees. But this thing, Kaby Lake 8 thermal paste. This thing is going to chew thermal paste for breakfast. Just look at the size of the IHS and just look at how much thermal paste you're gonna have to put inside. It's nuts.
Threadripper.
Yeah.
Threadripper's bigger.
Threadripper's bigger.
Imagine the thermal paste
Well,
on that.
we don't know
Yeah,
yet if
have
you
the
can delete.
Spread out cores.
Yeah, but
so
no
you
one's-
can't like dot it on one part of the IHS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We don't know if we can delete it. So
No, you can't. You
No,
can't.
no one overclocks AMD, so it's no problem.
Yeah, I mean,
I do.
Yeah, that guy does.
And so do I. But I mean, I don't think you can deal with the AMD CPUs. I think they're I know they're soldered
Ryzen
actually.
7 you can't.
Yeah.
And I can't see them changing for Threadripper.
No, they are
because
soldered for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? It's funny because it's been years. I waited for to have like this kind of battle again on the market because it's good.
It's good.
It
It's
is
making
good.
life interesting again.
Life, oh man, I'm so sorry for your life. Otherwise,
No, I mean, look, my life is pretty much computers and benching, right? So I mean, it's just great to have something else that's actually relevant, you know. And even for all my clients, it's just good to have something that's relevant and another option.
so you saw something new?
Oh no, just the big glob of thermal paste.
Like I was saying, this thing is gonna eat thermal. And then imagine you've got to like.
Oh, look at it all. That is all.
That is a lot. And then you've got that much inside and you've got that much outside. Wow.
Yeah, it's like every time you wipe out the CPU,
Yeah.
you just remove like $20 of thermal
No,
paste.
that's exactly what Abba was saying the last time when he was benching Kaby Lake. So every time he'd like remove the IHS and clean it up and put it back, he's like, there goes another $5. There goes another $5. You know, just
Yeah, they're gonna have to start like the manufacturers for thermal paste. They're gonna have to start doing like
Bulk.
big size, like
Bulk.
bulk.
yeah.
Buckets.
They used to have like 5 grams and maybe like 20
Nah.
grams. So okay,
So-
we have alpha kilos and 2 kilos now.
Let's say 50 grams is the new 10 grams. Seriously. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's
Well,
like
actually, you say that. Like many years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I need a little bit of extra paste, and MX2,
Yeah, the big 30.
Arctic Silver,
the
MX
65 gram.
yeah,
cubes.
65 grams.
Yeah, that stuff just lasts. It's
Exactly.
I use it
right.
for everything.
Like when I'm not benching, like
I
when I'm
use it for
air cooling or whatever,
everything.
just
Yeah,
the
me
same
too.
syringe.
Me too.
I use MX4 for testing. It's quicker to spread
Yeah, no,
than
I
MX2.
that's
yeah.
you're
And cheaper.
you're right.
Cheaper for volume.
Really?
Yeah, for volume, it's cheaper. It weighs less, but you get more of it in the tube.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was
Interesting.
super surprised because I
Yeah,
bought
I
the
didn't know
MX4
that
and I'm
either.
like, why is this tube so much more full than my heavier MX2 tube?
Interesting.
Right. So,
Interesting.
yeah, but the thing is, it runs easier,
Yeah.
so I actually end up using more of it. You press the button and it gives you more. So it's just like, well, there's now just more thermal paste everywhere.
Well, I'm now using blue paste from Vince.
So you're one of the few to received it before the launch, or you just bought it?
No,
bought
same,
it.
same. Even I've been. It's nice. Even I've.
But it is thick.
It is thick. It is thick. It is
So-
thick. I mean, I just think that it's got lesser moisture in it compared to other, which is, I mean, that's basically the moisture that cracks. Right at the end of the day, you get cracks because you've got ice moisture in water in your.
Yeah, absolutely.
paste, so-
I don't know the chemistry of it, but it's a different beast to everything I've used
totally,
before.
Totally is. I mean, Vince, he sent me two of the 10 gram packs, and really nice, really nice.
But the cracking thing, we had there was a few cracking last night as well, and this is still something that it's very new as a kind of issue.
Yeah.
We are very at the beginning of trying to point out why this is happening and how to counter that. And,
True.
there was like this first first you have to just reapply,
Yeah.
and then you have to put more, and then you have to put as much as you can. which end up, because on the World Tour we know exactly how, because all the CPUs are deleted,
True.
and everyone just repaste them before they use them, and it's insane the amount of thermal paste that is just shoveled in that.
Yeah.
It's just
Because,
crazy.
I mean, for Skylake, Danko, his thread on HWBot where he was like, I know how to fix the crack issue, and you've got to cover the entire core, and you've got to cover the sides, and you've got to put a thick layer of thermal paste that you can't really see the core anymore, and you've got to have a fair amount on the edges and stuff like that. So
There was a question on the live chat. Kingpin is the blue paste or Grizzly? Yes, that's the Kingpin cooling.
is the blue paste.
Kingpin cooling one. Yeah. Gold silicone. Yep. Nope. Actually, that's something. This is like we can delete the CPUs because they are not soldered. They used to be soldered for some revisions and some of the series. Actually, most of the Xeons are actually soldered. Most of them are. What did you see? What do you see, Neil?
Oh, just Freddie Yama was looking at something very intensely, so I was thinking he might have a run coming up soon. That's all.
Yeah, I think the system on the right side.
Yeah.
I think that was the one they tried to run Unigine and never really worked out. But that's the screens from Fediyama. So we'll see Iram. So maybe Super Pi, maybe some copy waza trick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry. Well, we have it recorded, so let's learn all the tricks of the trade.
Which is actually quite interesting. I think everyone can learn a lot.
Oh yeah.
From just watching
From
what
just
was happening and
True.
and especially during Tullius, we had this discussion like a few months in the past about that if you rewatch if you watch the replay of the matches of the 1v1, you learn so much on what to not do and how to deal with some specific
exactly
things. Oh yeah, true. I remember now. We were supposed to have we had like a time to have like a talk with the few guys that were there from Intel, from Asus, from Seasonic, from HWBot. We're supposed to do it outside, but actually we did it inside in the end.
Okay.
So for the next 30 minutes, that's just gonna look empty. It's because everyone was inside the bar. Right?
Okay.
But that's not a big deal for us now, as we can see what's going on the screen.
Yep.
So this is quite an extreme setup of the tubing. Because actually, you see that tubing that Elmo has.
Yeah.
this one is like going down, and on the back there's the other one is going down as well, down to the tank.
Yeah.
And that's something they can remove and move to the other tank.
Oh.
I was surprised actually as well. So they were like removing the complete tubing from the tank. It's it's crazy. So as far as it looks like, it is Elmore that is in charge of
the liquid helium.
throwing the liquid helium. Right. Hey,
Yeah.
Julius, what is happening in the BIOS now? So many things is going too fast.
That's just, well, yeah, okay, so this is CABX then. Well, yeah.
Okay, 5.5 gigahertz
Yeah.
just for the start. Just easy peasy. Just
Easy
regular
peasy.
one. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, that was one trick as well. It was so cold with liquid helium they had to heat up the memory.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
this is crazy.
I mean,
It's the
heating
same-
up memory is something I've done a few times.
Yeah,
like
for
on
GPUs.
AM3, I've heated up memory because over time it would freeze through the memory sticks. And depending on what DDR3 you use, you won't have a problem. But my memory insulation isn't that good that I trust my memory sticks to be covered in water. So I just hit them with a hairdryer every so often to make sure that they're above dew point when running AM3. So AM3 Plus. So yeah, but then there's also, I have one stick of DDR3 which is a Samsung based IC. Nothing like special, but it's some random Samsung IC. If that stick goes below like 10 degrees, it stops working. It's just VSODs.
So there we go. No, they're going straight in. So 6.7, 6.9. So it's 102 BCLK. Trying to apply. It's actually, look, he applied 6.9, but it actually was 5.6. I think it just crashed.
That's a crash.
Did it? Yeah, that's a crash. Yeah, by the look on the Elmore's
Elmore's
face,
face, that's a
yeah,
crash.
that was a crash. Like, yeah, start again.
Go.
Yeah. It's like Roman was like, oh,
Yeah.
pushed it too hard, sorry about that. Elmo wasn't happy, he's like, yeah, come on, man.
That was a pretty big jump from 5.6 to
But most of the time they do
6.9.
5.5 to 7,
straight.
like straight.
Wow.
I saw that quite a lot yesterday because they run full pot, so
Yeah.
they basically do 5.5 to not have like this like weird issue with like the low temperature and things. So they just like full pot, wait that it's like negative 100 and I think negative 180 something
Yeah,
or 100,
yeah.
negative 170, like 7 gigs and that's it.
Wow. Wow.
Which I wonder
I
will
mean-
not be possible with all the boards as well because
Yeah, I
this
mean,
is quite a
but
high jump.
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. I mean, it's just I guess old habits die hard or whatever. But I generally jump 300, 200, 300 megahertz at a time. 300 and then apply, and then another 300 and then apply. I don't jump 1500 megahertz in one go because that's quite a big jump.
See, on AMD on AM3 Plus again, you have PS check, right?
What exactly? That's completely different.
And you can just shift the core ratio up down in
Exactly,
like seconds.
exactly.
And what I was doing, so I recently finally like completely maxed out my FX 9590 for
Yeah.
like 8 gigahertz validation.
Uh-huh.
Stopped at 8092. The way I was doing that, I had all the cores just sitting at like the ATEX multiplier.
Yeah.
I'd bump up the FSB, and then I'd go take the core I knew was best, and
then
push
just
that
click.
one
Yep.
for 1 second,
And then bring it right back down.
Pull it back down,
Yes.
and start tweaking settings so I wouldn't have to deal with the system crashing every so often.
Yeah.
I thought Intel had something similar for the newer stuff, because I know they can do per core overclocking,
True.
but I guess we don't have an app like PS Check yet for it.
No, I don't think so.
I don't
Or
think
even
that-
if they do, it's not. It's definitely not going to get leaked the way PS got
Yeah.
leaked.
There's the way as well as how the turbo is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can see it in Asus Turbo V, that
We can group all of them.
everyone's grouping it, so
Yes.
they all go at the
Same. Yeah.
multiplier, but doesn't look to be anything stopping you picking a core and
Yeah. Just pushing that one.
pushing that one, yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, what you were saying that you push one core, do something, and just bring it back down to
Yeah,
just to the
really,
other.
really quickly.
They do this as well with helium because as helium is 3 times less efficient as removing the heat. When you have to do like you just do the bench that you want and then you reduce it to not
Yeah.
make it crash
Yeah.
because if you crash you're gonna have so many other kind of issues.
Yeah.
Especially because the CPU is not producing any. It doesn't produce heat, but it's not gonna transfer heat from electricity back to
Yeah. To
like-
the helium.
to the helium, and that means the helium gonna continue cool down a little bit. So that's why they have to stop that doing that
The
very
flow.
fast, because it's expensive and because it's useless.
Yeah.
And there's one thing as well. Helium, it's 4 Kelvin,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the only fluid that we know on Earth that can go below 15 Kelvin.
Yeah.
So this is close from the 0 Kelvin, which
Yeah,
is
to
not
absolute
possible,
zero.
absolute zero, which
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
possible to
Yeah.
achieve. But this is the closest we
You
can
can get.
we can get
You
for
can get
for it.
commercially.
Yeah, and
I mean
the-
that's affordable.
I mean liquid.
Yeah, because they've gotten down to 0.1 degree of absolute zero in the lab, but that's
Yeah, it's in a lab and
millions of
it's
dollars.
in a lab and no workload.
No, yeah.
There's not a CPU below that does
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
400 watt or 600 watt of things. But anyway, there's another issue. Oh,
No,
it's
super
just-
cold.
No, I think
I
it
think
burned his
super hot.
finger.
Yeah, I
it
think
burned
super
his
hot.
finger
Yeah.
because of the torching.
Yeah.
Oh, we should ask him. Hey, Elmore, how was your finger? So yeah, actually for the liquid helium, the issue is if you go below 15K, you're starting to have some superconductivity things, which actually completely remove the use of a processor because the processor is based on something works
Semiconductors.
and it's like semiconductors, like
Yeah.
it's 1 or 0.
Yeah.
And you have supraconductivity, it's like it makes no difference. You can pass electricity through a piece of wood, basically.
Yeah. True.
Which is actually quite awesome
Quite
to do.
awesome.
But
Yeah. I mean, the effects of the effects are pretty interesting. You know, you've seen all those videos where stuff is just like floating in midair because that metal is like a superconductor, and they do weird stuff with like magnetism and stuff like that. Superconducting is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just came back from Japan on my way through to Taiwan, and they're building their maglev trains to
yeah.
go between Tokyo and Kyoto.
Uh-huh.
It's not going to be ready for another 8 or so years.
for
or
another
something.
50 years.
No, 8 years or so. But their test track at the moment is like 40 kilometers. and
Yeah. They're hitting stupid speeds over there, 650 plus. Yeah.
Well, you have no friction, so that does happen.
Yeah, but they're doing that with superconducting.
Conductors. Yeah.
And was it liquid helium or maybe it was liquid nitrogen?
I think it's liquid nitrogen.
I mean, if it's liquid helium, that's very
Yeah.
that's not a good idea. though.
It's probably nitrogen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that's used a lot. Though I think the CERN accelerator that
Yeah.
runs liquid helium,
Helium.
cooling for the magnets.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's where it's all going. That's why.
That's
That's
right,
why it's
yeah.
not cheap.
We should stop wasting their liquid helium supply.
But actually, yeah, there is a need to actually get a system. If we want to use more and more liquid helium on doing this, I think there's going to be to have a need of rethinking on how we use it. Liquid nitrogen, who cares? Like
Yeah.
honestly, there's like no more than 70% of nitrogen in the air that we breathe right
True,
now.
true.
And actually, you guys breathe right now when you watch this. So
Liquid nitrogen is endless.
it's endless and
Endless.
super easy to produce as well.
Yeah.
And actually depends just on the cost of the electricity.
True,
that's
true.
that's
That's
the,
all,
on, that's
that's
the only
all.
factor. Liquid helium, you have to dig the ground. You have to dig earth to go find it because
A
it's
well
like,
of helium.
Yeah, and there's a lot of helium in space.
Yeah.
So, which is actually quite interesting because helium is the most present resources in space, and it's one of the rarest on
On
Earth.
Earth. Well,
So it's like
so I was actually reading an article, and this is, I mean, it's what they call free helium, in the sense it's not attached to something molecularly. So that is easy, but we do have a lot of helium, but it's always stuck to something like molecularly, you know, like on like an atomic level or something like that. So it's just you've got to literally scrape helium out of, you know, elements and stuff like that, which is pricey as hell.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
So yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more things that can still be evolved, that can invented, or maybe a new way of using it, or maybe reusing it in a different way, or maybe having a system that cool down to remove most of the heat from the
or there is something that collects the
weight.
vapor and then can recondense it into.
Maybe, but I think like all these systems will be like quite expensive, but it will depend on how often that could happen. Because as far as I know, this happens maybe like once, twice a year maximum, and it's about 200 liters every time, which is quite a lot still.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not as common as liquid nitrogen so far.
Yes.
And I don't think that will ever be.
No,
as
I don't
common.
know. No.
But we're thankful enough that there's no cold bug on the CPUs.
True.
Actually, this is not exactly true. I
No?
think there might be one at negative 250, which is not a big deal.
That's considering no one's gonna go there. Really?
Oh my god, that's crazy.
But to be the guy in the lab that has to determine that,
Yeah. Yeah.
going cold it, like to even get there to find out if there was one.
Well, so Intel does a lot of R&D in India, right? They've got a massive campus in Bangalore, like
Sure. Yeah.
sick big, and they have like endless supplies of LN2 coming in every single day. And same with NVIDIA. I've been to both of them, and they have stupid amounts of LN2 coming in. So yeah, they're definitely locking in there as well, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. For everyone that just joined us, either from the different Twitter feeds or Facebook page, or just because you had the friends watching this and say, "Oh, look at this guy, they're doing crazy shit with the new platform, blah blah blah," and yeah, they use liquid nitrogen on computers. What's that for? Actually, they're just trying to cool down the platform to test where it can go. So basically this is used by research and development within the different manufacturers, or within the different manufacturers of CPUs or motherboards. Or actually GPUs as well. And it's not something you can use on everyday system. This is not the point. This is like Formula One. You don't drive a Formula One on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, it's inefficient. Most of the street you cannot even go there.
Yeah, the engines will blow up in like 500 miles.
Well, it
anyway.
looks cool,
Yeah.
like it is, but that's not.
The engine will last 500 miles maybe, before they die. So
So it's not actually we have way more mileage with the CPUs than the Formula One. So they use liquid nitrogen just to cool down the main processing unit. That is actually the thing that creates the more heat, and that need to be cooled down for that. And that helps out all the manufacturers and all the companies to help out to research on where will be the limiting factor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that already happening in the factories.
Mm-hmm.
So they do test in the factories in extreme case of humidity, extreme case of heat, extreme case of dust, for example. But it's almost impossible to test in extreme case of cold.
true.
Unless
You're doing it
in the lab and so on. And the overclockers have been providing a lot of feedbacks to the companies, because they will complain if it's not working.
Yeah.
But not working as default,
And
working
also
as way
Way
past the specifications.
Exactly. That's when we crib. And then also, I mean, it's also a learning process for the company, because okay, sure, they're testing in the lab, and sure they'll have they've got maybe 5-10 engineers who are testing this stuff, but then you can't really compare that to 200 overclockers going for it with that hardware. You're gonna get a lot more knowledge out of those 200 people. Yeah,
Absolutely, and it's not like the 200 overclockers are going to be doing everything
exactly
in spec.
Yeah,
They're going to be pushing
way beyond spec.
And different voltages or different
True.
ratios.
So many permutations, combinations here. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then you combine that with every motherboard vendor is going to be a little bit different.
Different BIOSes, memory. There's just so much here.
Yeah, there's a lot of question on the live chat on why people do that and why they want to push this, and basically it's always the same kind of feedback.
The need for speed.
Because performance matters.
It's the need for speed.
I mean, what's the point of driving a Tesla? I mean, it's electric. Very good point.
But then don't buy the P100Ds, right?
Instant acceleration.
P100.
That's the whole point.
Torque.
I'm okay. We know that on the market. This is one of the fastest car
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
at acceleration.
Yeah.
This is cool, but this is not a selling point you can have when you drive mostly in cities.
True.
It's like driving a.
No, it's still a selling point. Definitely still a selling point.
Because it's goddamn addictive. You get in one, you step on it, and then that surge just becomes addictive. That surge of power.
I've done that
Yeah.
multiple times in different Teslas. It's just like
It's just nuts. It's nuts.
yeah, and like you have to. You have to be careful.
Careful,
You got to
yeah.
slow yourself down. Like the last time I was driving a Tesla, it was a Model X that my boss was buying. We were just like tailgating, or not tailgating car. We were just following it on the freeway, and I'm like, I'm just going to overtake it. Put on the indicator, and just plant it. And we caught up so fast. With like, I had to correct myself. To not crush the back.
Stuff happens a little too quickly.
Yeah, and I was just like, and I just told my boss, you have to buy this car.
See, men
Do
will
you-
be men.
Do you have a lot of options that if something happened to him, you get the
Do I
company?
That's still a negotiation.
There's a lot of questions on the live chat, guys. Keep them flowing. There was a random internet person that says, "I'm going to wait until the new standard war is over. Either M.2, U.2, and Thunderbolt 3. They are meant for different things.
Yeah.
So M.2 that's meant for internal
Storage.
internal SSDs.
Yeah.
U.2, I
Is
don't
meant-
even.
So U.2, I mean, no one really uses unless you're using the 750 Intel drives. You know, they have that funky connector.
Yeah, it's that square one, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, that's what
Yeah.
U.2 is.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what the hell is that?
Yeah, so they've got that funky square connector, but that's only for the Intel 750. And that not the PCIe one, the one that looks like a normal SATA SSD, but that's just fatter. You know that.
Yeah, that will be gone soon. That's useless.
Like
It's
Pointless.
U.2,
Pointless.
Yeah.
forget about it. It's like SATA
In
Express.
fact, what I would love is for that connector, because that's actually the same connector you get on your rate cards,
Yeah,
right?
that's the same,
So
right?
I'd love it if they gave, like a 1:4 split out. So you just have two connectors and you can connect 8 hard drives to them. That
That's
would be
true.
freaking awesome.
That is true.
That would be really awesome.
Although actually,
Or you can give us maybe, 4 of them. We can put 16 hard drives in there.
Speaking
You don't need
of-
the 16 SATA slots. I mean, the ASRock board with 22 SATA slots comes to mind. But just give us 4 of these connectors instead.
no, yeah.
See, it was about to do 5.5 up to 7G, straight in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
But that's Shimino.
But Shimino, man.
He can do anything.
Well, except including crashing. But actually, speaking of M2, today at the G-Skill booth, when they were showing off all of the top-end X299 motherboards using the G-Skill RAM at various high frequencies, comparing side by side, there was the MSI X99 Godlike, ASRock OC Formula, ASRock Apex, of
Right.
course, and a X299 board from EVGA.
Yeah, the dark.
In MATX, the
Yeah.
dark. Then there was the Gigabyte X299 SoC Champion.
Yes.
And what I really liked about it, and this was just the small little unstated feature that you might miss on the first glance, at the very bottom of like the Southbridge heatsink, it was actually split in two, and it had an M2 slot that matches into the heatsink. So you
Yeah.
put your M2 drive in there and use the heatsink of the Southbridge as the M2 drive's heatsink, and it would all fit in and match together. And
True. Even Asus is now doing that with their new boards. They've got the. But that's nice. That's good to see, because these M.2 drives, they overheat. I mean, they overheat like no.
Yeah, because we use them like crazy as well. I mean,
True, but
considering
in like 3 minutes of ride operation, they're at 90, 88 degrees.
And considering like their historical location is underneath the graphics cards,
That's
there's no
just
way
gonna
to
cook.
Yeah.
It's just gonna cook. 7 gigahertz, 7.1.
I don't know. Everyone's standing around looking gloomy. I think they're all saying, "God damn it, Dan Cop." That was $2,000 of liquid helium you just killed.
well, you know, I have this.
What the hell's that? Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah. I remember that story back in oh my god, that was like about 10 years ago. I went in Greece to see iPro 5, which is someone that doesn't do overclocking for the past 6 or 7 years now. It's like
The
one of
legend.
the fallen legend, I would say.
He was.
But legend never died, you know.
Yeah.
And Elmore is not happy. It's like, I don't understand why this is good.
the hell?
So yeah, and basically at the time, like LN2 was starting to becoming like a commodity for the overclockers, but it was not as easy to find and as easy to negotiate and so on.
True.
And there's this event in Greece at November 2007. I remember.
Okay.
And basically we are at Apro's lab benching. There's Vince, Chamino, I think there was Greta from Foxconn at the time as well. And we all there and just like bench, have fun and so on. And Vince and iPro have very different way of benching.
Okay.
iPro is very like relaxed, so he's benching, doing the scores, and the scores is there. And he's just doing something else, just lighting up a smoke, making some coffee. The score is there. That's the world record. That's the world record that people have been trying to chase for the past 2-3 months. He just set it up. It's like, oh yeah, I'll have time. It's stable enough. It's stable enough, and just literally go make coffee.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's how my overclocking sessions normally are. It's like I'll
Yes, yes.
overclock, and I'm like, oh no, I'm meant to be using Windows 8 for this benchmark. I'll just install Windows at negative 100 degrees.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah.
I do that too.
I avoid the Windows installs at minus 180. I tend to do drivers. Or the actual benchmark I'm supposed to be running, because it's not on my install.
You know, actually,
And the 3D Mark. The new 3D Mark Firestrike and like the Time Spy version.
Yeah.
That one has a nasty bug where it'll forget if your subtests are actually installed or not, so you might have to reinstall it. I've had that happen like several times.
Oh yeah,
benching AMD.
you're actually right. You're actually right. I've seen that happen to me a couple of times.
You're benching, and then you crash in 3D Mark,
Yeah.
and you have to hard reset, and when
And
you
then
come
it-
back, 3D Mark forgets that it's
forgets
actually
that you've
installed,
installed
and
all-
you have to reinstall it,
Yeah.
which is just...
Alright guys, let's focus. There's
Yeah.
SuperPi 1M at 7
7
gigs.
gigs.
So 7740K.
This is my kind of benchmark.
Yeah.
5 seconds to 103, so that's actually
That was riveting. Let's do it again. Do it again. Oh.
5.125. Actually, the previous world record was at 4.953, I think.
Don't forget to run some Pi fast for the hell of it.
It's more like, yeah, I may be able to do like all the benchmarks.
A new resolution.
That's actually something I do, is like, I run one benchmark, it gets a good score, I do my next benchmark, I do my, just keep doing benchmarks until I hit something that crashes.
Yeah.
Before I try raise the clocks.
Yeah.
If not, none of my benchmarks crash, and I do them sort of in intensity steps, then you go back, you raise the clock, and start over again.
Yep. That's
If you're working your way up.
Up.
Of course, if you're already somebody who holds a world record, then you can't bother doing that.
There we go.
It's just a waste of time for
They
these
will
guys.
be using liquid helium quite soon. We saw Darbauer filling up with liquid nitrogen again. They're
Yeah.
at 7.1. They know that PiFast is working, and they know that PiFast is working correctly. I think we have a slight delay in between the two feeds. But like 7.1, that's something they can do with liquid nitrogen.
nitrogen.
They need to, like above 7.1 benching, they need to have liquid helium. They so far no one managed to
Cross
to do-
7.1.
Yeah, cross 7.1. Liquid helium all the way. It's like one guy's is like negative 269, and the guys next to it is like torching, and it's like plus 2000. It's just normal. 7.1.
Ah, dude, to 73. 73.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now he's going slow.
Click, 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 click. No, you don't want. Maybe you
Click,
just wait to cool down.
Yeah.
Yeah, give
Yeah,
it
waiting to
more
cool
build.
down, I think, yeah.
Yeah, 74, why not?
And you should have like a markup, like how much does that cost on the side. $100, $200, $300, $400.
8.53. Yeah.
Saving it. I would do.
Actually, I think 85.
Come on, Roman. Come on, Roman. Freddie Armour's in his ear, giving the words of encouragement.
That's the world record. 8.53. That's the new world record.
Oh,
This is the this is the new world record.
so what you're saying is spoilers. When they set it up a little bit higher, it's going to crash in a second.
I don't know. Maybe there's more scores they didn't submit yet.
Okay, all right.
You know, there may be European, but sandbagging is a worldwide game.
Sandbagging and overclocking? No. No,
That doesn't happen.
No.
Never.
8.5. Oh, oh. Crash?
Crash.
Crash?
Crash. I think it did.
Oh, no.
No,
the
the mouse
move.
moving.
No, the mouse
Oh.
move.
It's moving. Because yeah, actually the actual world record as of now, like 24 hours after this very video, 8.53.
Ah.
There we go.
Damn it, Rowan. Just lost a world record.
Well, it does actually own the 8.53, but yeah.
Yeah, but he lost the backup. He lost the sandbag.
Maybe there's more backup.
Ooh, spoilers.
That's easy. You can say that with pretty much anything. Like honestly, when you hear Vince posting his goes like, nah, you're gonna have backup.
Well, I mean, you know, that guy can overclock day in, day out,
Yeah.
so anything he puts up publicly, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably got something else.
He's insane.
So I wanted to
Well,
check
actually,
the.
that said, today a lot of overclockers were posting up all of their sandbag scores because
Yeah, new platform coming.
new platform comes out, all those scores were going to be useless. So get your 30 seconds of
I have to post one XTU result.
742.
No, I have 742, I have 743. No, it's 2330. It's 2333 XTU. It's actually the second fastest in the world right now.
Oh,
Congrats. Good job.
No, sandbag.
this is why you'll never see me sandbagging. I'm not that kind of guy.
No. This was very, very recent, just before I was even for Computex. I just didn't bother.
I agree. Hardware bot website takes forever to upload scores.
Actually, before I was leaving, something was up. I mean, it was taking like 10 minutes to open
You
the
know
page
what?
at my place anyways.
You know what? I really want to see the like the submission window thing. Like you have 8 hours, and it can close at any point in time. It's like, what if you lose your internet connection when you want to send back? You just lose. And that happened in some competition already.
Yeah, there's been a few results of Country Cup. We all knew the timeline was like, oh, we have to submit. I think for us it was like about 11 p.m. at night or something in Australia. So some people in our team were submitting at 30 seconds to that time. And, you know, their internet cut out, or in one case, the screenshot was too large, and it was like, oh, your screenshot's too large, try again. And then we missed it.
Alright, 7.3, 7.4, they're again in under liquid helium. Because that's not something you can achieve with just liquid nitrogen. But only 2 cores, 2 threads. So that's what we were talking just before. You don't need aperture threading for SuperPi.
Not at all. It's a waste.
It's 1 thread, but you need 2 actually calculation systems. So 1 for the OS and one for the bench.
yeah.
Yeah. 4.953.
Yeah.
So the was that week. Just playing around with the memory.
Go.
Whoa!
Hey! so this is actually the second best score in the world.
What the hell is this?
Yep.
And
Same thing with GPU Pi as well.
Is this a tweak?
Yeah.
Oh, I should pay attention.
I don't understand. Like, I never understood like the
Tell me about this
speed
tweak.
tweaker.
So it's just basically you're trying to save a little tiny bit. You use CPU resources in the refresh and stuff like that. So you don't want that.
So because it's not rendering at you, yeah.
W prime also, like when you run 1024, I make the window super small because it has so many lines of text and it's rendering like 1%, 2%, blah blah blah. Shut it.
Yeah.
It's like Cinebench. You just move the window outside of the screen.
See, I tried that for Cinebench, and I've never had that work. Like, not having the image render for Cinebench doesn't seem to do anything for me.
No,
Real-time priority works.
Yeah.
Really
But
good, though.
That's the thing. Real-time priority do the same thing because basically when you're in real time, the workload itself is the prioritized one.
Yeah.
The reason is because the window rendering is not held by the benchmark
yeah,
itself.
it's not
It's held
part of
by
the
the
actual benchmark.
Windows, the WDM,
Yes,
Windows
yes.
Desktop Manager, right?
Right.
So the desktop with DWM or WDM, whatever,
Yeah.
like one of the Windows process, and this process is not managed by the benchmark itself. It's just sending information
It's
saying
just-
you have to
this
render
is the
this, you
OS
have to
doing
render
its-
this. Yeah.
This is the OS doing its thing.
Oh, come
Like,
on.
I guess one of the trick was a bit too hard.
What the hell is that?
Services.
Services.
There we go. Alright.
God.
Ah. Yeah, there you go. They're looking for like their flash drive or something.
Yeah.
All right. So they have to redo the thing completely again, I guess. So they're at 7.1, and they would have to go once again at 7.4 if they want to run SuperPi.
Here comes the helium. And doesn't it make like a weird sound?
At the beginning, it's the same as liquid nitrogen. It's like,
Yeah.
and then after that, it's like just.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have like the phase separator on the thing, but it's doesn't make that much noise.
Okay.
Well, you just have the whoosh,
Whoosh, yeah.
whoosh thing. Just the amount of smoke, and we were outside. I mean, I cannot imagine someone benching like they did for the Absolute Zero,
Yeah.
for the Z270 and 170. It's like they bench inside. Must be freaking crazy to be there. Must be quite insane to
And
see what's
the
going on.
fans frozen from the vapors.
I told you they had to. They sometimes have to just eat up the memory because it's too cold. But I'm pretty sure you might actually broke the fan before you broke the complete system, because that's the whole point. Like, I mean, using liquid nitrogen like this is to test where you can go. I mean, you basically can extrapolate your failure rate and all the things to that just by using these kind of techniques and so on. But I'm pretty sure like the fans, they're not tested for that.
No. I really don't think so.
It's like there will be a brand in maybe like 2 or 3 years that say this fan is, so you have like RGB and you have like all these like LEDs things on it. It's like this fan is approved for
LN2 use.
LN2 usage.
Will work at minus 180.
I mean, I've definitely caused some damage with some fans, like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of the using them as exhaust and
Yeah.
ice building up and kind of grinding on it or
Oh, yeah.
And then if you're not paying attention when you're torching the pot,
Burning the fan.
and then you smell the plastic and you're like, ah. It happens. It happens. The fun part is then trying to RMA the fan.
Well,
Tried that.
what kind of fuse did you?
No, it was a Corsair fan. I took a photo of it and sent it to like the Corsair rep for Australia, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, can I get an RMA for this fan?" It was like this from the factory, I swear. Nah, you didn't believe me in the least.
You know that usually when you have like the fans, just the regular like 120 fans on top of the CPU pod, and you don't have them. You have them plugged on the same PSU, so it always shut down when your system shut down.
Yeah.
So every time the system shut down, like all the vapor is going down again. And after sometimes, if you do that maybe like for 2 hours, and you have to shut down like maybe quite a while, you actually have ice building up in the fan.
Yeah.
Then the fan sometimes is just stuck, which is just getting things worse over time.
So that happened to me with I have this 4,200 RPM Gentle Typhoon that I use as the exhaust fan, and 4 hours into my session it just slowed right down and then stopped because it was super cold. Just stopped.
Yes.
I've never had that happen with fans. What I've had happen is I use Cooler Master Jet Flows for all of my airflow. And I have them with the fan grills because I keep getting fingers in them. So what ends up happening for me is it pulls the vapor through the fan grill.
And the grill freezes.
Like chunks of ice building up on the fan grill, and after a while I just hear this grinding noise and it starts slicing up the ice on the fan grill.
Yeah.
But I run a second PSU, and so I've not had like massive ice buildup, like anything worse than that, really. And when that happens, I just sort of knock it out with a screwdriver, which has the side effect of sending ice flying everywhere. But because I just knock it back into straight into the fan, it's easy. It's the easiest way to get it out.
Yeah.
Actually, for the past 10 years, we use CPU pod the same way. There is no one that made like a special mounting to have like the fans that you can put on it, or I know that Mule in France and Orion, they use like this flexible arm.
Yeah.
So they use that and they plug the fan on something else other than the PSU from the system, so it's always running on, and they just get directly pretty much close
secondary
to this.
PSU for that.
Yeah.
So you're part of the clever people, I guess.
I mean, see, I saw like a video like ages ago about Gigabyte having like the OC ignition button, which does that for you, right? Like it runs the 12-volt line.
Yep.
Without running the actual motherboard, and so I thought, I can do this with a second PSU. I don't need this stuff. Bam, sold. So, yeah, but I'm not sure how much difference it does. I haven't been doing it for that long, and I didn't run like without the second PSU for that long, so I don't have a good point of reference.
Did you guys saw the die? The die size is exactly the same one as the regular Kaby Lake. So it's just a different package.
That's interesting that it clocks better, though.
Maybe they fixed some stuff in the manufacturing process as well.
Yeah, it could be like a revision.
Or maybe it could be that, or maybe the way they trace the lines for the package. It's the power is more. There's more pins going to get the power.
Yeah,
you could get part of the silicones, which actually makes it more efficient, and you can get more power through it and all that.
Finer control.
Yeah. Right.
And also
you've
got many more ground pins, so that definitely helps.
Crash, 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 crash.
You mean crash on launching CPU-Z? That happens to you.
That's the worst. Getting ready to take your screenshot, system dies.
I like the open the Explorer to see if the file is validated. Alright, so I guess like they're just waiting for the cooldown. Okay, guys, we're just watching the people from yesterday Performance Matters events. They were using the Intel Core i7-7740K. This CPU is clocked at, good question, I don't actually know what is the default frequency for this CPU. But, well, we saw this CPU about 7 gigahertz.
4.3 gigahertz, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
4.3 gigahertz without turbo. I think it goes to 4.8.
4.5. Oh, 4.8?
4.8. I think it
Wow.
was a little bit higher than the other one.
Wow.
Is it? Or I'm saying something
Oh, it
else?
could very well be.
Yeah, well, anyway. And yeah, they can do 7 gigahertz on their NN2. We saw 7.1 as well.
Mhm.
And what you guys see right now is with the all the smokes and so on, that is liquid helium. So liquid helium, that's 100 degrees colder than liquid nitrogen. Like, yeah, that was not enough. So that's the only way they can actually go above, above 7.1 gigahertz and below to negative 200 C.
True.
So we will see what's going on. See the Shamino helping out
is
on the
heating something. The memory.
hitting the
or the
thermal
board?
paste. Oh, he's
heating
like
the
drying the socket basically.
Yeah.
So
So he's back to benching his system. He's like, yeah, I can do that.
a lot of the guys use Process Lasso for prioritizing some of the.
Yeah.
They don't pay for it though.
So we can see like Dan Cobb trying to rebuild the platform, and we have the Bauer in the foreground as well, in the background as well, to trying to get the system booting. But you have to understand that at these specific temperatures, so for everyone that just joined us, they're doing extreme overclocking. Actually, there should be like a term for extreme overclocking. So like liquid nitrogen is extreme overclocking, and then liquid helium is like like another word for it.
Uber extreme.
Uber extreme, like godlike extreme. Okay, we got it. Godlike extreme overclocking. And yeah, so they use liquid helium to go extremely cold, negative 269. And what they are trying to do is to achieve the best performances on the platform that they have. So they're all using the X299 platform, and of course the new Kaby Lake X CPU. So it's the Core i7-7740K. Supposed to be retail for $399 US. $399 US for a 4-core 8-thread. So we'll see how that goes when that's actually hit the shelves of the different retailers in different countries. And they were using the Maximus Apex.
No, Rampage.
No, I think I can't remember the exact name of the board.
The
Rampage 6
6
Apex. Yeah, Rampage 6 Apex. So they.
His Rampage boards are high-end desktop, and then the Apex is the OC one.
Yeah.
I'm always getting confused on all the namings.
Pretty sweet board. In fact, I today I was at the G Skill place, and what at the Asus booth the board was covered. It wasn't on display. They had like this cloth over it, and they had the cloth over the Rampage 6 Extreme. But the board was on display at the G Skill booth. No problem. It was open. So I'm like, oh.
I mean,
cool.
there's pictures of the board on Hardware Ball. Right?
Yeah. I'm like, okay,
So-
cool. Yeah.
They actually brought those systems out at about 2:30 p.m. Because the official reveal was about 3 o'clock. And I just remember just like looking at them and just joking around, saying, "Oh, I've taken some photos of it," and at G Skill weren't happy. They're like, "Oh, no photos, not until 3 o'clock." And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah, I actually went live.
yeah." Well, it was-
Oh look. Oh boy.
All right, I think we can still go for a good 30 minutes before we're gonna have to see pretty much what we add. I'm looking forward to see Super Pi run, maybe the Pi Fast. The Pi Fast we saw it right, 8.53. So Pi Fast is covered, right? Just want to see the Super Pi one.
Profile name what?
What?
What? Say what?
Say
What good Dan? What good Dan booting stuff?
What good Dan? Not a sign, boot sorting bench. Asus, man. I'm like, do they even know what they're doing?
What?
You should actually give them stupid names just for the competitions, or when people stream things.
Yeah.
That was like the final last year. Doctor Wiz knew he was actually having his screen being broadcasted. He opened Notepad and said, "Hi, mom."
Yeah.
Which is something I guess we're gonna see more and more often because like pretty much all the competitions and all the events are now being broadcasted except the one this week.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, that's the
Yeah.
only one that is not there. I got a lot of questions, guys.
A lot of politics involved there.
No, it's just I'm sorry that was not the plan to go. So if you guys want to see more live streams of competitions, overclocking demos, and events, go say it. Go say it on the forums. Go say it on the Facebook page. Go say it to the people that organize the events. Go tell them like, yeah, you want to have a CTV covering that because that's the only way we can get there. I mean, it's important. We know that you guys care, but it's very difficult for everyone to understand that there is a value towards that. Whatever the time zone is, like this one was yesterday. It was not supposed to be broadcasted at all, and we managed to still get the feed and get everything's working for you guys. So, yeah. If you want to have the streams, just tell it.
Good.
Just tell it to the people. I
Absolutely.
know you want the stream. Don't tell it to me. Tell it on the forums.
And the way to get more of these amazing streams is with OverClocking-TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
Yep. He said it.
Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, everything.
Everything. Instagram that shit.
Even Instagram. Right?
Are you on the YouTubes?
Yeah, I'm on the web.
Oh,
The spider web. We're on the dark web as well, but that's for different purposes.
Sure, cool.
We can hear you. We can hear you laughing. Yeah, actually, like the profile name, that's something you can actually make a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Like not this one, not this one, not this one. Maybe.
Definitely not this one.
That was a quick shoot. Unless we swap systems.
Yeah, actually, they use Windows XP.
Yeah.
X299.
That means they got Windows XP running
XP.
on 299.
Speaking of
You
XP,
can't get a Super Pi world record without Windows XP.
Yeah,
It's really
true.
that simple.
I'm not going to break the confidence of any motherboard vendors, but I've heard through the grapevine that there's a special edition motherboard that is designed for XP records. It's going to have PS2 keyboard and mouse and an IDE connection, so XP not a problem. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I hear it may be shown off later in this week.
Wow.
Maybe.
Wink, wink.
Yes.
Somewhere on the trade show. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Not.
I mean, like, if anyone wants to send me some money, I'll tell them who and when and where, but... Or samples, you know. I will shield products for samples.
So that's why you came here for networking.
Of course.
You network on your catalog of samples.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Hey guys, hey Debauer, hey, you can see your face, you know? Roman is here. Oh hi.
Hola.
Obrigado.
I didn't read anything. 2011-3 CPUs working the new sockets. The 2066 not gonna happen at any point in time.
No.
That's not gonna work. There's not the same. It's not the same form factor. It's not the same number of pins. It's not even the same positions for the pins. If you actually just grow the CPU, it's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Different socket, completely different way of doing it. Which is actually, in my own opinion, okay. You can change the socket to have new platform, new features, and so on, but please don't change it every generation.
Yeah.
I don't even want to...
It's technically every two for Intel, because they do like they have two CPUs
Midlife
and they
refresh.
change socket.
Yeah, well, that was supposed to be.
Well,
ticked
actually, LGA 1151, they're going to be putting Coffee Lake on that. So we get Skylake, KB, Coffee, and I think there's another one
T-Lake
after that.
After Coffee Lake, that's T-Lake.
Cannon Lake.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Canon. Yeah.
Coffee Lake's
Cannon
going to need
Lake.
to be something special because
I can't say anything. I don't
We
know.
should put a cannon lake in a cannon.
Like allegedly from sources on the internet, it seems that it will be like this, but no one can confirm officially so far. Ish, maybe
What?
somewhere.
Wait, what? I wasn't listening too much well.
Yeah. All right. Are they gonna do 7.4 again? Okay, that's the tweak we just learned today. Sure. Derba was like, yeah, I'm watching the delivery with Elmore. So, guys, pay attention to that because the Super Pi world record is coming. Oh my god! So they have to beat 4 seconds for 937 milliseconds. So 4.937. If they do better than that, they do get the world record. Which actually we know they got, but we don't know exactly when they got it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys don't know.
it could have been done weeks ago. Who knows? We'll have to see it live.
Well, at least there's a life for it. We were waiting for the moment we were opening CPU-Z at 7.4 megahertz. It's like everyone's like, damn it, why it doesn't work this time?
No,
It used to work.
No, Elmore's saying I'm hungry. Feed me food.
So guys, we do have Der Bauer Roman on the live chat. He's actually the one that broke the record yesterday. He's the one on the far left side, right now eating some stuff like not a very looks not a very good way to.
I think he's agreeing with Elmore that it's pretty good food.
Yeah, casually eating tapas while having
Yeah.
the tank of liquid helium just behind you.
While Shimino's doing all the hard work there.
So basically, you guys, it's like Roman and Elmore. It's like, oh yeah, okay, we're gonna let Shamino build the system. We're just gonna throw liquid helium at it. I absolutely approve hamburger plus cheeseburger from their bar. Yeah, cheesecake. Sorry. Actually, I didn't even have the time to eat anything yesterday for that.
Cheesecake, very good.
Oh, we got the confirmation from the producer, Xiala, that cheesecake was very good as well.
Well, I wouldn't know. I wasn't invited.
Here we go for the liquid helium again. Push start. Dan Cup and Elmore. I think Dan Cup got something on his finger, like.
These scores.
Evidence.
Oh, cooling it down.
I think everyone still hear you, but it's okay. So trying to get the smoke out as much as they can, but it's very difficult with liquid helium.
Yeah, you can't really see anything anymore.
Well, at some point, I don't know if we already saw it, that's going to be after, but at some point there's like this huge cloud of smoke just passing in front of the screen, and you have like Roman and Elmore just bending over and trying to find where I can look at the screen. Oh boy. Yeah, seems like the helium did not work out. Disconnect, reconnect. So that's the SSD. So they will basically check the system. So what I will do is check if the system is working on Roman's platform, which was actually just before on Dancup. So that might be like the record SSD, so like the bench SSD. So you basically like test out the platform on one system and just use the other one just to bench.
Yeah.
Which is actually a very nice.
Yes, that you don't really. mess
Actually,
up
I
your
don't know.
life.
I don't know if that's what they did, but that looks like it. Cracking was fine. Even negative 245 degrees worked. That's actually quite good.
Yeah, it just goes to show good solid engineering.
But that's the whole point. I mean, if Intel is part of this event, it's because they want to show off, like, yeah, that's what our
Stuff
product
is capable of.
that's
Yeah.
what our stuff can do. I mean, if you do that, it's like, that's serious business. I mean, there's no way you can burn that if it's 90C for 2 milliseconds. So yeah, it's very good. I mean, we will see. Over the past 10 years, every company that dedicated resources, time, and budget toward improving their compatibility and capacity for their boards to sustain extreme overclocking, they all add better sales.
Yeah,
They,
for sure.
Not for that specific product, for all the other products. They all add better product in the end. They all add more mature product. They are all better compatibility as well.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we will see, because it needs about like 2 years as a cycle to do it. With all the RGB thing that was going on for the past 2 years, I'm pretty sure we will see this year for the next year and a half. I'm pretty sure we'll see some of the companies that we used to know to be at the top to go a little bit lower, and because maybe they don't spend the same amount of resources into overclocking, or maybe they don't do it the same way. And you have to evolve. I mean, for the past 10 years,
There's gaming everywhere now.
Yeah.
Right now, the fad is gaming.
Yeah.
Like there's gaming on everything. Oh look, I've got socks. The gaming socks. Oh look, I've got.
Actually, do you guys know
a
that
t-shirt.
there's
It's
actually
gaming.
there is gaming chair that are RGB?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is.
I want one.
Yeah, why not?
You know what? I want one, just for fun. I do actually have RGB in my room. I do have RGB in my desk as well.
Actually, that brings me back that special edition. It's not a good run. That very special edition X299 motherboard I was talking about. No RGB LEDs on it. Yeah.
You mean it's
So it's gone back to pure overclocking.
I think I know who's
Basically.
doing this.
Yeah.
I think I know who's doing this now.
The guy is dropping so much stuff. All
I
right.
think I know who's doing this now.
I already told him it's gonna fail. Because it's not gonna sell without any RGBs. That's what sells motherboards, RGBs.
Ah, sure. That's a commodity.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, if you have it,
Exactly.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see what is going on. And liquid helium third round. So you can see that Elmore doesn't want to have it like on the top of the shoulders. Like I will just do it like this. Like I will just refill my beer. It's the same. I mean, the amount of smoke that stuff produces is insane.
Here we go.
7.3, 7.3, 7.3, 7.3, 7.3.
Well, if it runs at 7.4, you know that's the run, pretty much. I think.
All right. Okay, push apply.
Save it already. Come on.
That's the issue. As the liquid helium is 3 times less efficient,
You've got to wait.
yeah, you have to wait for it to go down. It's like Dan can't see anything on this platform. Oh god. Yeah, they tried and yeah, it's so close. This is the thing. I mean, using liquid nitrogen is already like past factory settings, like by far.
By far.
And for everyone that was the maximum limit, and then now it's like, yeah, let's double that and go liquid helium, which is not even what I mean. You have to have the resources to do that, and you actually have to be crazy enough to be able to push that hard on the platform.
True.
There's a love-hate discussion on the live chat right now. Let us know who's actually your favorite mainboard manufacturer. Maybe that's...
BioStar! BioStar makes the best motherboards!
DFI! DFI!
Ibit! I saw that one coming.
Hey man, I reckon DFI could bring back their LAN party boards.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
they'd sell.
No, because they'd have the fluoro colours, they'd have the RGBs. They started that scene. They were just 10 years too early.
Or maybe RGB is 10 years too late.
Hey man, they were worth buying back in the day because you could get orange and green IDE cables. And SATA, SATA cables, yeah.
They had SATA cables as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Epox had like the first white SATA cables as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they had a white PCB board as well as a prototype.
Oh.
I remember that one, yeah. That was for the Atlant 64.
Wow.
Sapphire also had a...
Yeah, Sapphire had one on
White
the
PCB.
on the EMD chipset
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
yeah. But Sapphire, they never really made it.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
at
had that
some...
board.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Is it yellow now?
That's a
No,
pretty-
it's still white
pretty fast-
actually.
That's a fast 1M run.
You know that this is like... there's no way you can make a validation with just that.
Well, yeah.
Alright, 7.1. That's gonna do 1N. So I guess they're cooling down, then going for it. 5.125.
GTI Jason, my name's Fatboy Not So Slim from Australia. I am the #1 overclocker in Australia. Says so on my business card.
What does it say as well? Shit poster?
Maybe.
So today on the show, for everyone that just joined us, we do have Bill Zoid from UK, Tullius from India, professional shitposter Fatboy Not So Slim from Australia, and myself, Truthman from OverClocking-TV, which is kind of like a country now.
Oh, okay.
So here we go, helium again, liquid helium, and nope, crashed. Yeah, you can see in Elmore's face like, damn it. Okay, we're gonna have to start again. It's kind of like looking at Shamino. It's like, are you ready for the next one? Yeah, that's crazy. It's like voltages, everything is red, all fine.
Yeah.
Actually, who told me that? That they should do like an extreme BIOS, that everything that is red is default settings.
Yeah.
And the higher you get is actually green. It's like not high enough. I'm pretty sure that could be like a features and a setting point as well. GTI Jason, yeah, DFI was awesome, but I like the Foxconn X48 Black Ops. Well, that was the one Shamino was working on, so yeah, makes sense.
That goes back a long time.
You know, actually, I was part of the feedback group for Foxconn, for this one. That was cool. That was fun. Not sure my feedback was very useful, but... Someone say my favorite brand of motherboard is ECS. Please no.
Yeah. Elite Group.
They did that elite gaming whatever thing, and they really took literally like you just have to put game somewhere in the name and that will work. But it actually doesn't. So yeah. Hey, Obscure Paradox, what's up? Welcome to the live. Elmore looks fed up with life. Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine like the guys. They've been. I mean, the launch, the unveiling is this week. I mean, that was like this afternoon, just a few hours ago, and these guys have been working like day and night to get the platform ready for the show and for this show especially as well, which is extremely impressive to pull out for a completely new platform, completely new circuit. Architecture is the same, but the way to use the architecture is a little bit different, which make it a little way more complicated in the end. ECS was the shit. I think there's like 3 liters too much.
They had a good run.
Someone book Elmo a ticket back to Sweden.
Sweetest
Well,
time.
well, he does live in Taiwan now, so I guess he just needs sleep. But it's impressive, like back at it, Helium again. So there we go. Is that the run? Is that the run that they did better than 4.937?
Here comes the copy Waza.
7.4? Actually, they are 7.4 already. Doing the Waza now. Blue screen. Damn it.
Even the Foxconn Mars was the sick board, huh?
Yeah.
That was the sick board. That one also Sham did. Yeah.
All right, back at it, 5.5. They might have to start again to.
No, is this a different system?
It's
Yes,
Shamino.
Shamino's one.
Yeah.
The one on the side, on the right side.
Yeah.
You know, like people go at the bar, have drinks. I just casually pour liquid nitrogen into my computer.
Sure.
Go balls deep 69 say, guess that wasn't the run. Oh, that was a question. There is no esports championship series. The Overclocking World Championship final is a different format for Taipei event. It's the G-Skill OC World Cup, and there is no stream for it. So if you guys want to see a stream next year, tell that on the forums. Send emails, not send emails, but just say it on the forums that you guys want to have a live show for it. So that's the only way we can make it happen. Did IBM even make motherboard, or was that always contracted out? IBM pointed out the specification for the motherboard, but they were not manufacturing them directly. At least, unless it's for the power P series of the servers.
Or unless you're talking that big boy $1 million mainframes and stuff.
Like the mainframes, they do it because they own the complete copyright for it. But regular mainboard for the servers, same as Dell. Even Dell. I mean, Dell don't produce the motherboard. Actually, it used to be MSI, like 15 years ago.
It'll be Foxconn now.
I mean, now it's pretty much Foxconn,
yeah. And ECS. ECS.
Then
is,
ECS as well.
ECS
ECS is manufactured.
Big OEM.
Mm.
I mean, that's the.
Quite a few of the Rampage boards are made by them.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not Pegatron only.
Okay.
But that does. I mean, there's something like usually when we talk about like ECS, Foxconn, etc., doing other boards, it's not like they do the boards. They just manufacture
making
the board.
them to
So they basically just
design.
solder the things.
Yeah.
You have to understand that in the industry itself, even the PSU, there's like 3 main factories to produce PSUs.
Yeah.
Seasonic is one.
Yeah.
So they have their own factories to produce the PSUs.
Yes.
But pretty much anyone else, and you have like a
CWT and Enhance.
CWT and Enhance, yeah, indeed. And basically,
There's another one I found today.
Delta. Delta's massive.
Delta, yeah. No,
Isn't Superflower?
Superflower.
has
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
Superflower is the OEM for EVGA.
Yeah.
But all that, even though like it's like you will always hear people like from us, like if you're just getting in that stream, you have to understand that we know a lot about this industry and who is working with who and so on. But that doesn't change the fact that it's not because it's the same manufacturers that it's the same quality.
No.
Which is very important to understand because
I mean,
you
you
always
can
have
go to a
specific-
factory and make a watch in 5 rupees or 5 million dollars.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's basically down to the design.
You'd have to be.
And it was always a running joke that if you have a Superflower power supply, it was going to blow up and kill your computer at one point. Because it used to always be, but like especially back in Australia, you could buy a case for $50 that came with the power supply, but it'd be a superflower. And it was just like, oh, it might be rated at 600 watts, but you put more than 50 through it, and you have a fire. But quality control, designs, changes.
True.
Yeah.
But this whole industry is just about that. It used to be only factories, and then it turned into having like presence, like it's like Seasonic. I mean, Seasonic they do their PSU in a certain way, they market them in a certain way. They don't do 75 different products as well. They try to focus on some lines and not have too many products, which is actually, in my opinion,
I mean, also they're a very big OEM, so they've got a lot going on there as well.
I mean, for sure, they will produce high-end PSU for others.
Yes.
Following the requirement they get from their clients, which is what every factory will do.
Yeah.
There's
just a price tag to it.
True. And also, part of this is, I mean, this is pretty much in any business. You don't want to keep your factory idle. You want to keep it running. So if it means taking on OEM work, well, that's what you do.
All right, 7 gigs did not pass for the first 1M. Maybe it was not cold enough. So we passed loop 18.
Or maybe the RAM was too cold.
All right, so it seems to apply. I want to see that SuperPi run because that's the last one we need to see, and that's gonna be
Shady Reaper. Yeah, the Antec HP, the 8CP is a Delta unit.
Yeah, that's a Delta.
Yeah.
I have one.
Yeah, nice, pretty strong supply.
I've used
I
this.
also have a 1,600 watt G2, and I've managed to overload it.
Whoa!
I've tripped OCP on that.
I've tripped OCP on my LeadX 1600 as well.
I've used the same
Jesus.
Corsair AX 1200. For
How many GPUs did you need to trip OCP?
So it was two 295 X2s clocked to like 1200, and then another two 290Xs. I was going after GPU Pi, and
dude, I managed it with 3 Fury X's.
Pardon?
I did it on 3 cards.
Whoa.
And the 5960X.
Wow.
And that was all water cooled.
Jesus.
I wasn't even running LN2, and I had to move one of the cards onto another power supply because each of them was pulling I think they were pulling between 400 and 500 per card.
Wow.
And then the CPU was pulling another 400-ish to 500, so...
Yeah, just rerunning like 1M over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
At 7G?
Just hoping for that bug to run. Get that good score.
Like 0.656.
Yeah.
That one will be untouched for a while. I mean, as we say in the opening of the show, like W Prime 32M was not being touched for the past 7 years. It got smashed today, so that record was the longest ever standing world record, which is insane. I mean,
yeah,
we used to have like every year like a lot of the new rankings and things. So, okay, it was crazy. Okay, Roman was saying that they were running SuperPi 1M to keep the load on the board to not get it too cold, especially for the memory. Actually, Roman, is there a reason why you run SuperPi from the desktop and not inside like a hidden folder for not have like the fact that the icons actually appears and so on? Does that impact at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think that will impact on 32M.
Yeah.
Maybe on 1M because
Maybe.
it's getting like slower and slower and slower. Maybe just the overhead might impact.
Or it's just easier to access. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, you can do a shortcut as well. Just convenient. I like the wahaha.exe.
Yeah. Wonder what that is.
Wahaha.
Wow.
And there we go, 7.2 doing the special tweak. 16K first, then 1M. Running. Okay, again. $1.960. I can't believe the CPU are just out for just a few hours and it's already like 1.96. I wonder if it keeps scaling with voltage or if like the passing 2 volts is, I think it's way too hard.
Seven, 4.
So there we go, that might be the run. Better than 4.9 seconds, and that would be a world record. All the Kaby Lake and Skylake X CPUs are with pass. There's none of them that are soldered.
New
So
deal
you can actually
tools needed.
Yeah. Well, you kinda still if you don't want to damage them, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, go get it. 7.4.
I like to see somebody deal
I know what.
a $1,800 CPU with a blade.
I do have the feeling. I do have the feeling that this is the run. This is the run.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Well, Elmo's happy.
Yeah, but we doesn't know yet. Right, if that's the run, we. That's the run. Yeah, that's the run.
That's the run.
That's the run. Wow. So there you go. World record. Easy, right?
Riveting.
Damn. So 7.4 gigahertz on the Intel Core i7-7740K. This is the new Kaby Lake X CPU X299 platform that we're using the ROG Rampage 6 Apex motherboards. There you got the screenshot, and that's exactly the one we can have on HWBot right now. I will just copy and paste the link to the scores. Can I do better than that? Actually, I don't know if they did better but not submitted and keep that as a...
Oh, we'll find out.
Available memory 443 megabytes. There's a lot of tweaking happening in that system.
Max Mem.
And blue screen.
Max Mem.
Obscure Paradox says they equaled it right. Well, actually, the score that I posted the link is the score they made yesterday, because this is not directly live, this is from yesterday. So you just witnessed exactly what was happening to make that world record. So they were using liquid helium. You can see like, so there you go. Elmo does have a smile. It's like, okay, finally we have it, right? So yeah. So yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, Obscure Paradox. This is not well, it is live for us, but the event was happening yesterday. So actually, you know what? We are almost exactly at the same time they did it yesterday. So we are just 24 hours after that score was set up, and the main reason. I want to have the scene where we did the fist bump. Actually, if you're on Twitch, you can do a Twitch clip with that one. So just click on the clip thing, and you can do it straight away from the live. And yeah, so that was yesterday for the Performance Matters event. But yesterday, all of these, like the scores, the fact that the Kaby and Skylake X chip were scaling under LN2, that the Kaby X is scaling under LN2, that you can use liquid helium, that the new platform, the X299 platform, everything was under NDA, so non-disclosure act, so no one could talk about that up until today 3 p.m. after the keynote from Intel.
Right.
So now that this NDA is lifted, we can show everything that was going on. So you guys right now on the live, you saw exactly how that happened to break a world record. So you need hours and hours and hours of preparation. You need to have a big team of people that are dedicated and well versed in what they do, and you need to actually make it happen. If you don't try it out, you will never make that happen.
Yeah.
For these guys, that's the top high level. I mean, even if we know them, it's not something we can look forward to do every year or so. But for you guys at home, you can do the same with your system, just on water cooling or even air cooling. Not the same frequencies, not the same scores. Let's be clear. But at least you can try. And that's the whole point. If you don't try, and if you never try, you will never know if you can do it. So yeah, that's impressive. 4 seconds, 797 milliseconds for this. They are at 7.4 gigahertz for the CPU, which is 200 megahertz more than the previous world record that was held by Dankop on the i7-7700K, and that was at 4 seconds, 937 for SuperPi 1M. Those two scores were actually made under liquid helium.
Correct.
The first score that is not on helium, that is on liquid nitrogen, is 4.968 by Rolf from Sweden at 7.1 gigahertz. So we can definitely see that the fact, even with the new platform, like the platform is just out today, even with the new platform, Intel and the industry partners like the Asus Republic of Gamers, they are able to deliver this kind of stability and performances, even if the platform is just out, which is very good for everyone. I mean, for us especially, because we love to. We are part of the early adopters. I mean, we are the one that will most probably buy one of these platforms in the next few days.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, in the next few weeks, if not
it's gonna
days.
happen for sure. And it's
you're gonna go to the computer market and buy one, I'm sure. If you can find one.
If I can find one, but I mean,
you won't be able to find one for the next 2 weeks, but
but like, I mean, here it's just like what happened even the last time, and also like the Asus overclocking guide say, trust our auto rules. So they know what they're doing. These boys know what they're up to. So yeah, I mean, if this is happening on day one, then that's.
I mean, that was actually 12 hours before day one.
Yeah.
But so yesterday evening, you can imagine, we were at the event and we saw and we witnessed that, and you can't say anything. It's like, please, just let me post a picture of the liquid helium. That is so cool. It's like, no, you can't. Like, damn it! So we had to wait 3 p.m. today. If you guys want to see all the pictures from the event, you can go on the OverClocking-TV Facebook page. We did a special album with all the pictures with the liquid helium and the guys, the overclockers and the people there doing activities. So go check it out, share it with your friend. That's more than welcome. I will share the link later on, or Timothée will share the link on the chat. So that's something you can do. We'll keep on discussing for the next few minutes. If you have questions on the live chat, that's the moment to ask, because we'll be live for maybe 10 minutes more, and then we're gonna cut the stream because we all need to go sleep or party, depending who's doing what at this time of the week. This is Computex. Honestly, there's going to be a ton of stuff to be shown in the next few days.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures from the show, a lot of pictures from the different keynotes. We know that there's going to be stuff to be announced in the next few days, either from the memory manufacturers, mainboard manufacturers as well. They're all going to be waiting a specific date to release that for it.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff coming. We have this new platform from Intel, the X299 platform. We have those new socket and new CPU it's not a generation, but the new combination as well with Kaby Lake X and Skylake X. Kaby Lake X is 4-core, 8-thread.
Yeah.
That's LGA 2060 as a new socket. This is the one huge big one that's gonna replace the 2011.3 on the X99 platform. That's gonna have a huge amount of memory on it. We are already seeing that in the different benchmarks. So the memory will be crazy high as well, which is extremely interesting.
The IMCs are really good this time. And then also you've got big stuff coming from AMD. You've got Vega, you've got SP3, you've got the 16 core. There's a lot happening here at Computex this year. Yeah. There's a lot happening here.
And this is good for all of us. Because when there's this competition between the major one, this drive innovation, this actually drive as well the
and it pushes prices down. Yeah. Everybody wins. Yeah.
Price down, innovation up,
better products, everybody wins.
Yeah, and anyway, RGB is everywhere, so that's not going to be the news for this year.
Yeah.
And by the way, everything is called gaming as well, so that's not going to be the big news as well. So you need something new, which is not RGB, not gaming, and not VR.
Gaming RGBs.
Gaming. There. Well, he said it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's done.
With VR. VR gaming RGBs.
I think I can sell socks with that. Like you just like the name on the side. That should work.
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure. Anything RGB.
At a lot of tech conferences, like you normally get a T-shirt or a wristband or something.
So
socks are a big thing.
Okay,
I'm being 100% serious. So if socks are coming through as swag.
So if you want to know how far this RGB craze has gone, so there are now RGB VGA card holders. Okay.
Right. Why didn't I think of that?
There are RGB VGA card holders or support stands that have Aura Sync on them.
What?
Yep, it's coming. I saw it. I read that and I was like, no, it's gone too far. But yeah, it's a thing. An RGB VGA support stand.
That's a joke.
No, it's not.
Well, we had gaming chair that are RGB as well. So. You know what? I wish there was someone. If someone is watching this and have a lot of time, you should just do a YouTube channel all about RGB and call it like this: all about RGB. And basically, what you do, you ask any company to send you their stuff, and you're gonna review one thing.
Do you know what I want to see? Gaming chairs. A channel that reviews gaming chairs, but then does chair races. You know, like where you push yourself backwards. See who's got the fastest gaming chair.
Oh my god. Thank you very much for this small involvement into your RGB and gaming chairs and racing. Actually, you know what? If you have the good format for it, that could work. Actually, talking about good format and wink wink. There was a few questions on the live chat. We're gonna take them right now. There was someone asking if the when will be the next stream. Good question. Today was a surprise stream. To be honest, we actually with Timothy we worked all day here in the studio to make this stream happen. We will go visit actually the show in the next few days because that's why we are here for, mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to Taiwan for Computex. Nope. So yeah, that was the. That's the thing. Next live, actually, we plan on doing some live in real life, so IRL, to when we're at the trade show and when we talk to people. There's some stuff we cannot really stream because we talk about businesses, but basically everything we could stream or discuss or things. And it will be my pleasure. I will love to do that, to ask some of your questions to some of the people at the booth.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you ask why is it called gaming and why it does have RGB. I will make a point.
Send them to us.
Asking them.
Send them to us. Well, I mean, all of us are going to be going live at some point.
The same as well.
I mean, I was live like 70 times today, so send them to me. Send them to me for sure. I'll ask them questions.
Yeah.
No issues.
Get in their faces.
Yeah.
Ask the real questions.
Yeah.
Not any of these softball PR questions.
So what is your new product?
Yeah.
And then you have like a 25 minutes of non-stop stream of information.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, if you have any question or want to see something on the show, you can ask Studious on his page, Studious Tech, on Facebook. He's starting it, so go give him a follow, like, whatever.
That'd be awesome.
Send him the most stupid question. Because
Go
I'm
for
sure,
it.
I'm
Go
sure
for it.
he will just ask them. He will just ask them.
Yep.
Because it's fun, right?
Yeah,
Send
not?
us as well on the live chat or on Twitter at OverClocking-TV. If you want to see specific things, please no RGB and please no gaming stuff. But anything else you want to see, just let us know on Twitter. We're gonna be monitoring that in the next few days as well. There was another question about: is the HWBot World Tour coming to South Africa this year? From Schnubab. I cannot answer that as of yet. I don't know if there's gonna be stuff coming in the next few days. I'm not sure. Right now, we just had the HWBot World Tour Taipei here in Taiwan. That was the last weekend.
Yeah.
So I say like just look on HWBot. I guess that if there's announcement to be made, that's not gonna be this week because of all the event going on in Computex. But if that's going, it's planned. It's on the map. So I guess that's gonna be coming. I don't have the exact date yet, and I don't have anything confirmed as for now. So when this is confirmed, that's gonna be known, and I will hopefully make it there to do a live as well. So keep in mind, if you want to see competitions live happening, you have to tell the people on the forums. You have to tell the organizers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's not gonna happen because this is something we will do for fun, and you've been commenting on it. Billzoid, I've been commenting on it as well. It is fun to do. I hope it's fun for you to watch as well. But we need your supports to make it happen on this. And I'm sure you will be ready to do the commentary again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Billzoid and Tulius, you guys did a very nice team. I mean, Billzoid, you did good at the first event in.
Yeah, he's my brother.
The commentary for the World Tour.
No,
we had a blast.
Obscure Paradox just ask you, can you destroy everything RGB you find? Yeah, that's gonna be like half of the show.
Jesus.
Like, what?
What if I do that? I'm never coming back to Taiwan ever again. So
Oh.
no.
You can't do that at the start of your channel.
Really? What I can do for you is I can buy some of my own RGB gear and break it for you on my channel. No, that's no problem. I won't break their stuff. I'll break mine.
we should try overvolting RGB
fans.
LEDs.
Yep. How about I give them 24 volts instead of 12?
Also, I heard if you dunk an LED into liquid nitrogen, they stop making light, but you can push a ton of current through them.
Yes, you can.
You can make them burn a ton of power.
And they go all funky.
Yeah.
Too low res on my end here, so
If
I
you
don't know
want
what
that broken
is.
right now, post it.
Aura sync.
Aura.
Actually, RGB will be great when there's going to be an open format for everyone to use that is not tied to one manufacturers.
Nah.
And I say it now, and it's been a year and a half I say it. Once there's not going to be an open framework for it, that's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, I mean, you're actually limiting third-party people, and you're limiting other people.
I mean, that's
cooking
part
up
of the business in a way, right?
Yeah. But I mean, if RGB is doing so well, I mean, there's going to be lots of people who want to create all kinds of accessories and stuff, and they'd like to be able to do that, but they can't.
Question for you, I will try to get the information as well from Obscure Paradox. Try to find someone at MSI and find out if the titanium board, so the X299 X-Power Gaming...
I will do that, for sure.
Titanium edition.
I will do that, for sure.
Just ask them if they need to be mod for Sub-Zero.
Done. I'll be actually at the MSI booth tomorrow, so I'll definitely ask them that. 100%.
Oh, and by the way, yes, there is an RGB PSU from Thermaltake.
Yes, there is.
Which is...
That's been a
we
thing
are
for
ready
ages,
as well.
if
We
I
are ready.
remember correctly.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Have you noticed even on the new Intel Core i9 boxes it says VR now?
It says VR on the Core i9 box. Really?
At least on the
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
It's better than if it said Internet of Things.
Yeah.
Your CPU is now permanently connected to the internet.
Which is kind of the case, actually.
As long as it says like i9 and like ultra low power, green edition.
So like an i9 green edition. Yes.
Yeah.
That will kill. That will kill it. All right, guys. I think it's a wrap. Just before we close that, Buildzoid, what are you expecting to see this week in 2 words?
Right, see where? Tomorrow.
where.
No, on the internet about the
Here, then a fire. From Computex, awesome hardware.
So guys, check out Buildzoid tomorrow on his channel, twitch.tv/Buildzoid. And yeah, sure, that's gonna be a...
Huh?
Oh yeah, advertisement playing by itself on the web. So guys, if you want to see fire at Buildzoid or awesome hardware, you can check out Buildzoid on his own channel on Twitch, twitch.tv/Buildzoid. He's gonna be live tomorrow, if it's not on fire yet, and we try to we try to catch up with him. And in the meantime, Fatboy Not So Sim, what's your plan for this week?
Walking the halls, seeing vendors, trying to get free stuff.
That's pretty much it for me too. But
Yeah.
except I'm also definitely looking at sourcing hardware for my own our own builds back home, because there's not much available. There's some very nice cases. There's some really cool stuff that's just not available. in India.
You know that even if you get a case, you need to bring it back.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about like actually setting up like important stuff, or looking at something like that. Like if there is something nice that can be something that's small, something that's not really available in India. Sure, I'd like to look at something like that for sure.
All right, and thank you guys for tuning in for today's show. That was a surprise show for the Performance Matters event. That was a surprise show as well, but you will be able to watch the replay of the replay, which makes it a little bit Inception-wise. Like,
Yep.
You can watch the replay of the replay we did from an event that was the day before. Anyway, and keep in mind you can subscribe to this channel. We will be trying to go live on Twitch and Facebook in the next few days for different kind of topics. If you want to see something, as I told you earlier, send us a tweet at OverClocking-TV or a message on the Facebook page. Thank you guys for being here. That was
always a pleasure.
That was fun to see, and I hope we can do this kind of stuff a little bit more often. Not here in person, but I mean over the internet and Skype and so on. That should work. Thank you, Buildzoid, for being with us. Thank you, Fatboy Not So Sim. Thank you, Tullius. Always
Totally my
fun
pleasure.
to spend time with you guys. Don't forget, until next time,
Keep pushing it.
keep pushing it.
Blue screen!
Blue screen!
Green screen!